have answered every test. They have won 4 championships, and now they are stalking number 5. ABC presents college football, a CFA matchup. It's the 2 best teams this year in the Big East. The number 1 ranked Miami Hurricanes and the Orangemen against Syracuse. Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Dick Vermeil, does Syracuse have a chance?
Yes, they do, but they're going to have to play with the poise of a team that's been in a game like this. They're close enough physically.
All right, let's go down to the field right now. They are ready for the opening kickoff. Miami will kick it off. Dane Pruitt, the kickoff man. They're conferring with the official. And back deep, Kadri Ismail and Terry Richardson. Richardson, number 44, on the right-hand side of your screen. And the ever-dangerous Ismail is on the left. After number 28 in a row. Here's Ismail coming out from the 7. Slips down short of the 20-yard line. Where our diehard starting lineup for Syracuse will look like this. Pressure on this offensive line. They may be the most important part of this ball game. They have got to give these skilled players time. Ismail, Walker, Wooten, Hill, and Gedney. The trigger man is number 5, the junior Marvin Graves, who is destined to become the top-rated quarterback of all time here at Syracuse. He is the leading passer in the nation right now. Does like the option. Comes up to the line of scrimmage with our first play. Walker is his tailback. Gedney, 84, switches over to the right side. They start with the wishbone look. This is Walker jitterbugging through and popping close to the 20 and Mark Caesar. Miami lines up this way defensively. Patrick Riley steps into that defensive line. Kevin Patrick is healthy this week. Perhaps the greatest trio of linebackers in college football over the last decade. Smith, Barrow, and Armstead. The star here is number 47, Ryan McNeil, destined to play for a long time on Sunday afternoons after his career in Miami is over. 2nd and 8 for Syracuse. Graves off a pump fake, goes deep to Hill. Complete. Shelby Hill and Ryan McNeil in pursuit.
See, Brent, the Syracuse staff does not believe they can go deep with just a straight go move, that they have to use a double move, a move in which they can start a break at 12 yards, pump, fake it, and then go deep, because these corners are so aggressive and so confident. That'll back them off for the rest of the ball game.
3rd and 8. The play comes in from the sideline from Paul Pasqualoni, the head man here at Syracuse. Graves then checks his wristband to see the full extent of the blocking patterns and the pass patterns that his 3 wide receivers are to run here against Miami. Armstead tightens up at the right. He's coming. Here comes Armstead. He has got him. As soon as he saw the way was open, no tight end, Jesse Armstead stepped up to a blitzing position and sacked Graves inside the 10-yard line.
See, they did a real good job, Brent, of disguising the blitz, and he came right off the corner. Quarterback looking away from it. Take another look from the end zone. Coming from the left side of your screen. See, no one picking him up. He got up there too late for him to slide the protection.
And Pat O'Neill forced to punt from the Syracuse end zone after the 9-yard loss on the sack by Armstead. The ever-dangerous Kevin Williams off a low punt will pick this off at midfield. 45. Penalty flags come flying as Richardson came in to try and help out, and the illegal block is detected.
Yeah, it was an obvious one, Brent. I mean, all 3 officials threw the flag down there.
Returned by Kevin Williams. There is a flag.
Return team, push from behind, 10-yard penalty.
It looked like he tried to pull off making contact. You'll see it from the right side of your screen here. You'll see the jerseys now. See him right now, pushed right from behind right there. They're going to call that every time.
Now your diehard starting lineup for the Miami Hurricanes of Coach Dennis Erickson. Etheridge, a converted tight end. London, Green, Vickers, and Cristobal in the offensive line. Great speed. So much talent there. Some of the finest in the country. And Gino Torretta, now a co-favorite for the Heisman Trophy. He has thrown 122 consecutive passes without an interception. The play is given to the Miami offense. They'll come up at their own 46-yard line. Torretta's first offensive play. Donnell Bennett, the lone running back for Erickson in this set. Off a fake, Torretta goes deep on the bomb. Cut by Copeland. At the 5-yard line with Dwayne Joseph covering. It is the dangerous one, Horace Copeland.
First play of the game, thinking run, play action. He'll freeze the safety, keep him inside, come up. Now you've got a world-class sprinter, the Big East sprint champion, high jump champion, broad jump champion, going after this ball right here. There he is, the best receiver against the best defender, and he comes down with it.
He was not even looking at that football. He snagged it. Holy Toledo's on that catch. A 48-yard gain. First and goal, the Canes go all out. And here's Bennett, run out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll be second and goal. And let's quickly set this defense, which is now taken on a goal line look. Brown, Mitchell, and Spencer. Ordinarily, you'll have 4 linebackers. There's an extra defensive lineman in there. JoJo Wooden pushed the running back out of bounds. Joseph was beaten on that long bomb, and all he can do there is just shake his head. Now it'll be second and goal for Miami.
You know, they've done a great job inside the red zone, but you know, normally they don't have to get inside the red zone to score, Brent. They score from the ways out.
Three wide receivers off the fake, intercepted at the goal line by Conley. Conley picks it off for Syracuse. Conley out of bounds at the 27. What a huge moment. The first interception for Gino Torretta in better than 120 passes.
You see, here he is right there. Conley, number 49, the play action fake. He acknowledges it, recognizes it, and jumped back, and Torretta threw it too flat. He didn't lay it up over the top. Conley now reverts back to his high school days of being a fullback, and he's running with the ball.
Driven out of bounds by Donnell Bennett. And that brings the crowd here in the Carrier Dome right back into the middle of it.
You know, Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse, said one thing we're going to have to do today is play real well inside the red zone. We can't play it much better than that.
Marvin Graves in Syracuse with a first down at the 28-yard line. The Wooten is the fullback. Armstead tightens up on the right. Now Walker shifts over, seeing the linebackers coming again, and Walker picks him up. The pass, but the whistle was blown before the catch by Antonio Johnson, but a big-time pickup by the running back that time.
There is no play, delay a game, offense.
A big-time play by Walker, but let's take a look at what has given Syracuse a life here early, Dick.
Dan Conley, number 47, the left side of your screen. As we said, that little play action, but see how flat he threw that football. Torretta was not looking at the defender. He was just zeroing in on the receiver. You have to be able to see both.
Conferring with his teammate on the sideline, Gino Torretta. First and 15 after the penalty against the Orangemen. And Graves had handed to Wooten. Wooten to the 29-yard line, and Armstead jumping back across to nick him first, and then cleaning up there is number 56, Michael Barrow.
You know, George DeLeon, the offensive coordinator, said they have to establish the running game, but within that establishment of the running game, they know they have to run some counters to slow down those linebackers. They haven't been running a lot of counter offense this year.
Tosses Walker. Walker to the right. Cuts to the 32-yard line, and Darren Smith.
This defense can run so fast. They freeze you with that option inside. The quarterback comes down. They make the pitch, as you'll see, to the right side of your screen, but he gets it out there. Now watch the acceleration of the jerseys in white. Here they come. You think he's got a big hole, and here they come. Small gain, 3-4 yards.
Third and 6 for Syracuse.
They're going to blitz.
They'll blitz the shotgun. Graves gets time, throws high, and incomplete. Syracuse forced the punt. Lets us go downstairs to our colleague John Spagnola. John, nice to have you at the Carrier Dome.
Thank you, Brent. It's good to be here this afternoon. You know, part of the mystique of this Miami team over the years has been the high level of confidence the players have had in their abilities. This fact was borne out this past February here in the Carrier Dome at the Big East Track Championship. Ryan McNeil of Miami approached Qadri Ismail of Syracuse and said, "So this is the Carrier Dome. This is where we're going to beat you all come November. It's a shame the season hasn't even started yet and you already have a loss." Well, Ryan McNeil is going to be playing against Qadri Ismail this afternoon. That'll be one of the subplots, and we'll see if his prediction comes true.
Pat O'Neill hangs one and drives Kevin Williams, who lets it go. It's a beautiful punt. Syracuse is blessed with one of the better all-around kicking games in college football. A 50-yard punt by O'Neill.
Cold up here, but we're going to have a great time indoors. Thank God for the stadium.
We're going to keep warm drinking orange juice.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. It's going to be a great game. I have a daughter who goes to Syracuse, but we're Canes fans.
Who do you think's going to win?
The Canes, of course.
Wait a minute, now let's go next one.
Who's going to win?
Come on.
For those of you who have seen the movie A River Runs Through It, Dennis Erickson went to school very close to where most of that movie was filmed, nearby Bozeman, Montana. He was a quarterback at Montana State, and now he is attempting to win his third national championship in 4 years at Miami. This is 1st and 10 for Torretta and the Hurricanes, who turned it over on the goal line in their first possession. The shotgun look. Torretta deflected, the second interception by Conley. Conley's got it on the deflection, his second pick.
They tried to throw a delay pattern to the tight end to the right side of your screen. Right over here, he's in front of the line. You'll see it right there. Now he'll come off. The ball gets tipped. See, actually, no, there was a delay to the running back coming out to Bennett. And here he is, Mr. Handy for the day. Dan Conley being right where he has to be to make the pick.
Kevin Mitchell, the nose man, deflected it. Now this could be a huge series here for Syracuse. Can they move the ball against this fabulous Miami defense, allowing 11.3 points a game? A first down inside the 20-yard line. They'll start this one in the red zone. Terry Richardson is now the tailback. The option look, it's the end around with Ismail. He cuts to the 15. Casey Greer tackles Qadri Ismail.
See what they do. They get in an end-over formation, and they run the option, and they're going to fake the best play they have, the pitch, and here comes Ismail coming around. See, flips it out to him. You saw the tailback going the other way. Good peel-off system right there by the offensive line. Nice game. And boy, does that slow down the pursuit the rest of the ball game.
2nd and 8. After an 8-yard gain, make it 2nd and 2. Let's get that corrected right away. The fullback, and Barrow hits Number 56 comes right across, and let's go down to John Saunders for an update. John?
Grand pictures like these make you happy. You're inside a dome. Washington and Washington State. Chambé right fair. Pumps it in from 3 yards out. They missed the point after. 6-0 early on. Brent.
John, we don't have quite the snow that they have out of the state of Washington today. Dennis Erickson once a head coach out at Washington State. There was a late penalty flag which came down, and it was a personal foul against Syracuse. The ball has been brought back to the 26-yard line.
See, Brent, these are the kinds of things an inexperienced team, excited, intense, and all like that, really trying to play tough and misdirecting their intensity. That's a dumb foul.
So now it is 3rd down and 18 yards. Graves almost intercepted by Smith. Smith had cut over in front of Gedney and almost picked it off at the 15-yard line.
Well, he has that great speed. He was on the inside position of the tight end trying to run a stop in that double zone to the outside, Brent, and he broke on the ball nicely. Like you said, he almost picked it off.
So another disappointment, but John Biscup has a long leg. This is a 43-yarder for Biscup.
Yesterday.
No good. A wasted opportunity for Syracuse. Through 123 consecutive passes without an interception, and now he has thrown interceptions on his last 2 passes. But a fresh series of downs, a scoreless game. It's like a start over, isn't it? They'll hand off to the running back Bennett, and Bennett to the 33-yard line with Conley, who has intercepted both of the passes, making the stop. So Gino Toretta already has thrown more passes for more yards than any quarterback in the storied history of the great ones who have come out of Miami. Now he has to gather himself. All 3 wide receivers off to his left. 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard run by Bennett. It's Bennett again to the 35-yard line and just short of the first down with noseman Kevin Mitchell bringing him down. CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Honda Accord, celebrating its 10th anniversary of automobile production in the United States. By Tartar Control Crest, the dentist choice to help keep your teeth tartar-free. By UPS. For reliable on-time delivery throughout Europe and around the world, you can trust UPS. And by GTE. 3rd and 1 for Miami. Scoreless here against Syracuse. The hand to Bennett, who battles toward that first down. Conley had him wrapped up. What a game the young linebacker from Pennsylvania is playing here for Syracuse. They have 2 fine linebackers on the inside. He teams with Glenn Young. They are the 2 leading tacklers on this team. And they will come out and measure to see if they got the first down. An impressive performance by the Syracuse defense so far. Now Dennis Erickson will have to make his first decision of the ball game. And he didn't even hesitate. The Canes will go for it. Fourth and inches.
More likely they'll run a quarterback sneak here, Brent.
Mitchell, the hand, and Bennett to the 47-yard line with JoJo Wooden bringing him down. The unexpected got the first down.
You bet. And see, they got the good drive block to the left side of their offensive line. You'll see on the right side of your screen, offensive lineman coming off. They pick up the linebacker in their zone blocking. That gave him that cutback lane and the first down.
12-yard run. Dan Conley out for a breather. 1st and 10, Miami. Off a play fake. Toretta gonna go deep. Wants Kevin Williams. Williams incomplete. Tony Jones, the free safety, over to help out, but Toretta, because of that great speed on the outside, just cranks it down there and hopes that Williams or Copeland or Thomas will run under it. And that time, it was Kevin Williams going in hot pursuit of that pass.
You know, and he got knocked down just as he threw that and still had enough arm strength to overthrow the receiver that has great speed.
Second and 10. Toretta in the shotgun. They installed the formation 4 weeks ago. Has time, sideline complete to Thomas. Thomas out of bounds in Syracuse territory. Now we go to John Spagnola. John.
Well, guys, to offset the noise here in the Carrier Dome,
Brent, San Diego State is trying to wrap up the whack against Fresno State here. Ray Peterson gets it at his own 9 and then is barely touched as he goes 91 yards of the punt return for the touchdown. 14-7 at that point as Marshall Falk also has a touchdown.
Moves, they will have. Okay.
3rd down and 3 from that shotgun. He throws to Williams. Williams to the Syracuse 39. Doug Womack bringing him down. It's a 1st down, Miami.
See, Brent, Syracuse defensively is staying more in a 3 deep, and you can throw those kind of patterns in a 3 deep situation. If they're going to stop those on 3rd down, they're either going to have to bring those corners up in a double zone and take the chance of the seam plays down the hole, or else they're going to have to come up and press tight.
Jonathan Harris will be the slot receiver. 4 wide men. Copeland, Williams, Harris, and Thomas for Toretta. Over the middle to a diving Jonathan Harris, incomplete. And it is 2nd and 10.
Brent, you said 4 wide receivers. That's the first time they have used 4 wide receivers, and they have different combinations. They will go with no back and 4 wide receivers. They will go with no tight end and 4 wide receivers with a running back. It's new in their game plan, and Rich Olson says they hope to get into the seams with those 4 receivers spread across the field like that.
The Syracuse defensive coaches continue to rotate 4 different players, keeping fresh defenders on the field in that secondary. No running backs again. Toretta under center. And he sends it 4 wide outs, and he is crushed at the 47. Wilkie Bazile.
Wilkie's a backup defensive lineman demonstrating good skill. He also had a linebacker coming with him in Glenn Young, number 52. You'll see from the right side of your screen, he gets up in there. The linebacker's there and flushes him over to the defensive lineman, Wilkie Bazile.
A loss of 6 on the Bazile sack. 3rd and 16 for Toretta and Miami.
Movement.
And the penalty flag is down as a result of the movement. Play is whistled dead prior to the snap.
That time on that 3rd down conversion situation, Syracuse did go to a man-to-coverage over on those feet and press.
The dead ball foul, a lineman move before the false start.
Let's go down to John Spagnola.
Well, Brent, to offset the noise factor here in the Carrier Dome, the Miami offense will go with a system where Gino Toretta, the quarterback, will lift his leg to tell the center, Tyrell Green, he's ready. And then Tyrell Green will bark out the signals so his offensive lineman can hear him. Everybody else looks into the ball. Let's watch it happen.
3rd and 21. Toretta Blitz. Womack hits him on the release. Incomplete. Miami forced the punt.
A real good defensive call by Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, realizing they have a lot of yards to go, need a big chunk, know it's going to take time, so they come after him with pressure. They don't pick up that weak corner blitz. Bingo, incomplete.
The punter is Paul Snyder. Shelby Hill inside the 10. 15, 20. There's an alley down the sideline. Shelby Hill. A penalty flag back at the 15-yard line. Hold on. It was a 50-yard return, but there is a penalty. And this one is coming back.
Coach Pasqualoni doesn't like this. Shelby Hill catches the punt better than anybody. Hold it right there. He feels the ball. You see him right here. He feels the ball cleanly with his hands. Most punt returners will cradle it to the body. Now he gets outside the wall. You'll see all the blue and orange jersey. No white jerseys. Poor coverage. No one in containment position. All for naught.
So instead of being deep in Miami territory, the ball comes back to the Syracuse 7-yard line.
You can see him reading his offensive play sheet. They have him numbered. He just looks down and picks out the number that was signaled to him, and he makes the call.
He slips. He slipped at the 5-yard line.
You know, Brent, I don't know if he slipped as much as maybe the offensive center stepped back on the snap and stepped on his foot. That happens so many times, especially as the quarterback creeps up underneath there and gets his feet too far up underneath. Well, you know, when you run a running game that includes an option, you get a little bit leery about running the options down here with your back in the goal line.
2nd and 12 is the result of a 2-yard loss. Walker's the tailback. And this is Walker. Armstead brings him down at the 12-yard line. And a penalty flag down again.
Miami in the big games, they've been penalized overall at 10 a game.
Offside, defense.
But in the big games that they've played, Brent, they've been penalized 50% less than their opponent. That has been their personality in big games. Marvin Graves has so many different talents. The talent to run the option down the line of scrimmage, the talent to pitch quickly, the talent to come off all those actions and then throw a pass accurately downfield in reading the coverages. Good drop back passer. They have some other things in the game like the middle screen to the wide receiver coming outside back to the inside. Things that he executes real well.
Walker, the captain, attempting.
The penalty is accepted. Still be 2nd down.
Instead of using the down on Walker's run, they will take the penalty now so that it saves them a down. That was the confusion down on the field. The coaches were trying to get Walker's attention out on the field. That makes it now 2nd and 7. The ball at the 10-yard line. That base 4-3 defense. Armstead is the linebacker you see. Kind of moved inside the end and tackle, stepping up. He'll now drop back into coverage. Incomplete, and it should have been caught by Ismail.
The linebackers, as the cadence was going with the quarterback, the linebackers kept one step closer, one step closer, one step closer. They were hoping for run.
Barrow barking at Ismail. Isn't it unusual to see a Miami player talking during a game? They're normally the quietest of competitors.
Well, Sonny Lubeck's defense, the Miami defensive coordinator's defense, is really tough to convert on third downs. Just under 22% conversion. Number one in the Big East. They do a good job.
Marvin Graves starting slowly. He is 0 for 4, and this is a 3rd and 7. Goes Ismail. A diving grab, but out of bounds. Incomplete.
See, again, they played him tight and backed him up with a safety, and you see Terrace Richards, number 6, come over after safety. What Marvin did, though, he looked at it all the way, Brent, and that kept the safety running in the direction of the throw.
Terrace Harris with this diving.
Right, and see the quarterback looking all the way, pulled him in the direction of the throw.
Now it's O'Neal punting for the 2nd time out of the Syracuse end zone. Remember, there was clipping, an illegal block from behind on this last return, and Kevin Williams.
Lousy punt.
On a one-hop, Williams dancing, breaks a couple of tackles, but gets no further than that spot at the 47-yard line.
You know, when you're going to upset the number 1 team in the country, Brent, you can't make as many mistakes as they've already made. You mentioned getting a long punt return call back, being down inside the 20 in a 15-yard personal foul. Not good football.
Trying to win their 5th national title in 10 years. And a young man who helped them wrapped up, number 4, is now in as running back. Number 23, Larry Jones, who had a standout game against Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. He will spell Donnell Bennett in that backfield. 3 wide receivers, and they'll try Jones right away. And this Syracuse defense led by Dan Conley, who took a break on the late in that last series, and he comes up and makes another hit. He is having a spectacular game from that inside linebacking spot.
He's starting hot. These guys normally start very fast, you know, ranked 5th in the nation in rushing defense. They're starting fast again and shutting you down.
In case you just joined us, Syracuse intercepted 2 passes, 1 down on the goal line, stopping a Miami touchdown, but they could not cash in on the 2nd. And from the shotgun, Toretta high and incomplete. Pass was intended for Copeland on that far side.
Brent, you notice they're not walked up on the wide receivers' faces or playing the double zone very much. The game plan by Kevin Coyle is to play as much 3 deep as they can and invite the quick hitches and quick outs.
The Syracuse defense has been very impressive.
They have been. They're getting a good pass rush for the down 4 as well. But the coverage scheme, I think, is also confusing them just a little bit.
Copeland for the 1st down. They missed the tackle, and Copeland with the speed breaks inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Bob Grosvenor had to come up to get him out of bounds after there was a missed tackle on that corner. It's a 34-yard gain.
There was more than a missed tackle. There was a misalignment. Nobody lined up on the widest wide receiver to the right of your screen. No one was on him. Defenders are now regrouping to get over there. You see there Tony Jones, number 18, not coming to balance to make the tackle. Nobody lined up on him.
1st down for the Hurricanes inside the 20. All 3 wideouts over to Toretta's right, and he'll run Bennett, who has returned, and he is stuffed by Ernie Brown, the son of the longtime NFL offensive lineman John Brown.
Ernie did a real good job of taking the offensive lineman, knocking him back in the backfield, then not only knocking him back, he shed and moved back into the play. Nice job by Ernie Brown.
2nd down.
2nd and 10. And Miami goes back to 4 wide receivers and no running backs.
Boy, does this put pressure on you now, Brent. They're bringing the linebackers.
Thomas who is smacked at the 16 by Glenn Young.
They were running that middle screen. Glenn Young was coming in a blitz. He got picked up by the blocker and then turned and looked, and here comes the screen. You'll see blitz right over here. There's Young. See him start to blitz? He gets picked up in the screen block. He turns, look outside. Look at this. Wow! That's smarts.
The pre-med major from Canada unloads on Thomas. He performed a little surgery that time, and as a result, 3rd and 8 yards for Toretto. Fires to Kevin Williams, and Williams is hit by Womack at the 13. It'll be field goal time for Dane Pruitt and the Hurricanes.
Their field goal kicker from inside the 40-yard line, Brent, is only 58%. That's below NCAA average for a field goal kicker. Normally, they're around 68%.
Hunter Paul Snyder is the holder. It's a 30-yard attempt. And Miami strikes first. A 30-yard field goal by Dane Pruitt. The Hurricanes 3, Syracuse nothing.
Thanksgiving Day. We're in Birmingham doing Alabama, Auburn. The #1 defense in the country, right? Alabama.
Alabama with a chance to win a national championship should Miami slip, and they keep winning. Road not going to be easy. Then on Friday, from down Oklahoma way, it's Nebraska and Oklahoma. So a lot of college football action coming your way this Thanksgiving week on ABC. Auburn, Alabama on Turkey Day. This has been a tough, hard-hitting, exciting game, and you look at the scoreboard, and it's only 3-0.
Well, and again, like I said, when you're playing the best in the country and you've taken some of the best shots and end up at the end of the first quarter only having given up 3 points and maybe given away a few points by mistakes, you've got to feel pretty good about yourself.
Ismail lets this one go out of bounds. They'll have a choice. They'll either bring it out on the 35-yard line or have them re-kick.
With a guy like Ismail, you know, I think you might as well, more often than not, let him kick it back to him.
I think.
They're going to line up and play offense.
Dick, I'm sort of surprised you'd say that. That would be...
Yeah, you know, he's just such an explosive type kid, and you never know when he's going to put the ball down in the end zone when he touches it, Brent.
But doesn't the Miami kicker have something to say about that?
That's right, he does, and maybe they don't do it because they know he doesn't kick the ball consistently very well. I'm just talking about athletic talent.
1st and 10 at the 35. That's the choice Syracuse elects to make. Now Marvin Graves trying to get into a rhythm against this defense. And that is not easy. The handoff to Richardson. The linebackers were coming, and Mark Caesar smacks him.
Boy, did he ever. You know, 290-pound defensive tackle right in there right now. And Miami is not against coming with the same blitz twice in a row either.
It looks to me like this great Miami defense has said to itself on the sideline after watching Syracuse deliver some knocks, let's go to work.
It's our turn.
They were coming hard that time. Braves 0 for 5. Throwing the ball, and he came in the nation's leading passer. Barrow is picked up. He slips away from Smith. Barrow came off of that block and took him down at the 27-yard line.
See, what did they do? 2 blitzes in a row. Not many teams do that. You don't expect teams to do it. But Miami will do it. Boy, and that throws you off. Here's Burrow. You see him coming up inside. Armstead, #1, up inside. Jams all the holes. He gets outside there. Now he's scraping off to the outside after being picked up. And there he finds the quarterback with a ball in his hand.
But Syracuse left with a 3rd and 16. Armstead, Barrow, and Smith. And the first quarter comes to an end. Miami leading Syracuse and Marvin Graves by a field goal. New York, it may be a little cold and blustery on the outside, but it's nice and toasty inside the Carrier Dome. Biggest game in the school's history. Two teams ranked in the top 10 meeting for the first time here in the Carrier Dome. Marvin Graves has not found his passing touch. He is 0 for 5, facing a 3rd and 16. Hill is out to his right. Gedney is talented tight end who slotted there to his left. And Graves will look to get off the schneid, set the screen to Richardson for his first completion. And Richardson out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Armstead and Krein over there along the sideline. And Syracuse forced to punt.
Miami has just dominated the numbers in this first half. You look at total yards, 120-1, but the score is 3-0 in favor of Miami. 3-0. Syracuse, like you say, Brent, have got to get something going. And if they can't run the option in their running game, then they're really in trouble.
O'Neal punting again. Standing on the Syracuse 18. Kevin Williams. O'Neal drives Williams back to the 9-yard line. He eludes the first tackler. Now jitterbugs, and he is down at the 16-yard line. Matt Greco, the linebacker, bringing him down. A 58-yard punt by Pat O'Neal.
Pat O'Neal really has a nice leg swing. He's also an excellent kickoff man. He swings and follows through nicely, gets a good drop. See, now watch him finish. See that leg come all the way up like that? Nice finish by a young punter.
Coming into the game, you might have given Syracuse a slight edge overall in the kicking game, yet it is a field goal by Miami that has them ahead 3-0, and Syracuse missed its only field goal. Gino Torretta suffered 2 turnovers, but Syracuse could not cash in. And on the handoff to Bennett, Torretta goes down. And Bennett is smacked at the 16-yard line.
That was the counter play, and I believe that he tripped over one of the pulling guard or tackle, moving over there to get a block at the point of attack. You'll see him trip here. Now watch the lineman to the right side of your screen. See him pull? See, and they tripped him up right there. He's not getting out from behind the center quick enough if his guards are tripping him.
Syracuse is doing one thing that Arizona did when they played Miami. They are coming hard. It is 2nd and 9. Torretta. And the receiver cut out. That was Thomas. And Joseph barking away at Thomas as he had him covered over here on the sideline.
So you can play that aggressive short like Joseph did. If you know you're being backed up by the safety like he was, he can be aggressive as he wants up short that way.
There was a 3-week stretch earlier when Miami battled through Arizona, Florida State, and Penn State. They have not played anybody of that caliber until today. From the shotgun. A quick dump to Williams, and Williams spins away from a defender, ducks under another, and makes it to the 34. A penalty flag down, a 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
See, this is the one thing Syracuse does not want to allow to happen, for the guy to catch the ball going north and south and then turn upfield. See, he doesn't want to allow them to turn upfield. Coach Pasqualoni said that is critical in their plan. Yes, they catch it, but don't let them turn up.
Offense.
The 17-yarder nullified.
University of Miami comes in the most penalized team in the game, but remember this, in the big games, the opponent was penalized 50% more than they were, showing poise.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down still.
This time, they will need 4 yards. for a first down. It is 3rd and 4. Spencer, Williams, and Thomas will be the wide receiver package for Toretta. Bennett will be the running back.
We've got 4 receivers.
The tight end, Bell, has been used as a blocker. Now he slips out. Toretta looks the other way. Dropped. Incomplete. Thomas couldn't hold on.
Lamar Thomas doesn't drop many, but good pressure right behind him. Bryce Bevel, number 3, was on his back. He was right there. He could hear him. He knew he had to make a tough catch and come up with it. Didn't get it done. He doesn't drop many footballs. You'll see him right there in the middle of your screen. See, the defender is in good position, but he still should make that catch every time.
Paul Snyder standing inside the Miami 10-yard line. Shelby Hill awaits the punt. Takes a Miami roll inside the 40. Close to the 35-yard line. A 43-yard punt by Snyder. 3-0 Miami. Nola tells us from the sideline that Lamar Thomas is fine. He is upset at himself for dropping that ball, but you might recall earlier he took a hit. Now the focus is on the Syracuse offense. Marvin Graves unable to move this team against this fabulous Miami defense here so far. 1st and 10, and Gedney, a very talented tight end, will set down there, number 84, on the right-hand side. From the wishbone, it's the option, it's the toss to Ismail.
Walker got it back. Okay, they have penetration right now. Defensive lineman in there, Brent. Got in the quarterback space. You'll see it right in the middle of your screen. You'll see 91 Crine. See him right in there right now on the quarterback. Grabbed his arm at the pitch. The pitch was behind him. No, actually got the pitch. Then he fumbles the ball. Good contact there by Darren Smith.
A painful name for Penn State fans.
Crine, yeah. Screen pass, pickoff, touchdown.
2nd down and 20 after the 10-yard loss. A 4-man rush. Graves forced to go down, and Crine was closing in, but the man who was exerting the pressure was Mark Caesar.
They've got to get into their draw game, Brent, and try to slow that rush down a little bit, get the ball outside quickly. But the rush right now, they're overpowering the offensive lineman. They're getting back to the quarterback as quick as he is. You see Crine, he's just as deep to the quarterback. Here goes a good push by Caesar up inside. They've got to give him more room.
It is 3rd and 28, and Miami doesn't even have to think about bringing the linebackers now with the 4 defensive linemen exerting all this pressure.
Plus, they can just turn it loose now. They don't care if they run a draw play.
They have just dropped those backers about 4 yards off the line. Hand fighting, throw to the screen to Walker, but you're not going to break a very long screen pass with the linebackers dropped off, are you?
They're just sitting in there waiting for the defense in that long yard situation has all the advantages.
So what can Pasqualoni and the Syracuse offense come up with?
In watching them practice on Thursday, Brent, they have integrated a little counter game to slow down those linebackers, and they also have a quarterback counter that's a very clever play. They've got to do that, I think, and then also seal the line of scrimmage and don't run trap blocking on the options. Come down and keep it clean.
Because it can be over in a hurry against Miami.
Oh, once they get it up on you. Nice punt.
Now Williams. Williams from the 33. Williams tossed down at the 37-yard line. 3-0, the Hurricanes. These schools for Syracuse, Jimmy Brown, the late Ernie Davis, Floyd Little, Larry Zonka, John Mackey. All-star here. And at Miami, Jimmy Kelly, Bernie Kosar, Vinny Testaverde, Steve Walsh, and now Gino Torretta. And Miami trying to become the first team to win back-to-back national championships as an undefeated team since the Bud Wilkinson Oklahoma Sooners of the mid-50s. Torretta with a 1st and 10 and a 3-point lead. Here is the hand to Jones, and Jones is hit by Young.
Good penetration inside on that play by Kevin Mitchell. He knocked him off a little, just off balance a little, Brent, and then both linebackers, like you said, Young and Conley, filled properly.
It has been an impressive performance by the Syracuse defense, but their offense is being dominated by the Miami team. From that shotgun, Torretta with time, rifles a diving completion at the 49-yard line. It was Spencer, Darrell Spencer, making the catch, and the crowd on this side did not approve of this call.
That's the advantage of the shotgun. That's one of the reasons that the Miami staff moved to the shotgun. See, you got him back away from the hard rush. He can see the defense there. He's got a lot of time. He throws it. Right there, the fans are complaining about the spot, Brent. They've been real good with this shotgun since they put it. Look at that, 68% complete.
1st and 10 after the 11-yard gain. Torretta rolling to the right, steps away from Hawkins. Now he is smacked at the 41, and a penalty flag down as Kevin Mitchell, the nose man, took care of the Miami quarterback, and there is a penalty also in that backfield.
They called Kevin Williams, the little 5'9", 180-pound wingback, for trying to grab the penetrating outside linebacker Garland Hawkins. They saw it. Hey, but you know, if a guy's going to hit your quarterback, you might as well try to prevent it by doing anything you can. Torretta's not the most nifty guy, but he has enough mobility to avoid the one-man rush. The 2 guys after him, he's in trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is some big-time defense being played.
The weight on the offense, penalties decline, 2nd down.
And that defense is being played on both sides of the ball. Pasqualani's Syracuse Orangemen have risen to the task defensively. We knew Miami would play well. They always do.
And really the strength of this Syracuse football team all year has been their offense.
2nd and 17. 4 wide receivers. Torretta hits Copeland at midfield. Copeland to the 44-yard line, and a Miami 1st down.
Stops the play. Pass caught by number 88, Horace Copeland.
You know, again, the receiver caught the ball coming parallel across the line of scrimmage. You'll see Wilkie Bazile, number 70. Watch his helmet. Hey, Wilk, put it back on, buddy. You're going to get hurt. Look at him. Watch him. He doesn't care if he's got a helmet on. He's playing with Miami.
Let me correct that. That was 4 yards short of a 1st down. So the ball is put down just at the 45. Torretta now throws to Thomas for the 1st down. So they come right back on the next play and get it at the 36. Bryce Bevel with the coverage.
See what they do? They get those 3 wide receivers. See them right here? 1, 2, 3 to the right side of your screen. Now they run little corner or crossing type moves. Sometimes you'll get them caught in a pick. Here it's not. They're man-to-man underneath, being backed up by safeties. 1st down, move the chains.
A.C. Tellison, a wide receiver, out to Torretta's left. Spencer, the slot man. Larry Jones back in as the Miami running back. It's Jones to the 33-yard line. And Glenn Young there defensively for the Orangemen.
Excellent blocking by big Diego London, number 74, the right offensive guard on that time. Boy, Brent, he got real good movement and allowed him to turn back up inside like that.
6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the 1st half. Miami leads it by a field goal. Syracuse missed the field goal and could not take advantage of 2 interceptions in that 1st quarter. One of them stopped a possible Miami touchdown. Off the fake, Toretta rolls to the right. Toretta will keep it, and he is banged out of bounds by Wooden at the 31. And let's get an update from John Saunders. John?
Brent, back to the snow. Washington and Washington State. Mark Brunell somehow manages to keep his footing as he goes for the flag and gets to the corner. 7-6. They have the lead. Brent.
Well, Erickson is happy he's not in Pullman today. A few years back, he moved to Miami from Washington State. That's where he convinced the football world that he was a great coach, when he took that team and turned it quickly around in 1 year. Now he has won 2 titles in 3 years, going for a third. Third down, complete to Williams. Williams stopped by Danny Conley at the 36-yard line. We'll see where they spot this one, and we get a reminder for Monday night. Should be a good one. Down in New Orleans, the Washington Redskins and the New Orleans Saints live at 9 Eastern time. And a little bit later, we'll get an opportunity to ask Dick what he thinks about that one as the Redskins go down to Cajun country. A first down for Miami. Syracuse still looking for its initial first down of the game. Toretta with time, complete inside the 15-yard line. Chris Jones, the wide receiver, with his first catch of the day for 15 yards.
Back in a 3-deep coverage like that because they're spread all over the field, and that play action then eliminated any help. Ousmane Beret got underneath the corner. You'll see the play action to the right of your screen now. See, that holds the linebackers. That does not allow anybody then to get out underneath to the right side. See, he's all by himself out there. No one underneath. Tough coverage.
Thomas, Jones, and Williams are the 3 wide receivers for Miami. And Toretta wants to change it up. With the noise, he'll use the hand signal to his outside receivers. He'll hand to Jones. Touchdown, Miami. Good hand signal.
He gave everybody the impression he was going to throw a pass. He's signaling to the wide receivers. Started to the right, got good line blocking. Then he got a cutback, good push. You'll see the lane right up inside that cutback lane. Spector, 72, couldn't call back into it. And you can't tackle these guys at the feet. You got to go up underneath the numbers to get them.
Dane Pruitt on the field for the extra point attempt. And Miami takes a 10-point lead. 5:46 to go into first half. The Hurricanes lead Syracuse 10-0.
A raindrop may reach the 1993 Lexus LS400. Getting inside is another matter. An improved side rail weather stripping channels more water away from open doors and windows. So while you make your journey in comfort, the raindrop makes its in vain. The 1993 LS400. The pursuit continues.
After football, I went back to Kansas and got my master's in education because I believe education unlocks a promise in each of us. The College Football Association and Hitachi feels the same way. They have created the Hitachi Promise of Tomorrow Scholarship to encourage students to become quality teachers because it's our children who are the promise of tomorrow.
Hitachi, proud sponsor of the College Football Association. Hitachi's Promise of Tomorrow program gives teaching scholarships to all 67 CFA members.
Since 1870, Syracuse University has offered those seeking a higher education the opportunity to share in its rich tradition of academic excellence and diversity. Over 300 different programs are offered by the university's 15 schools and colleges. Many of the programs, including those of the Newhouse School of Public Communications and the Maxwell School of Citizenship, enjoy international reputations. Syracuse University, the education of a lifetime.
During Miami Miami's championship decade, Syracuse has played them only once. That was in 1990 down in the Orange Bowl, and Miami prevailed in that one 33-7. Here the Hurricanes lead at 10-0. Ismail and Richardson are back deep, awaiting the kickoff, and Syracuse in search of some offense.
You know, they might consider going into their shotgun now. It's not a big phase of their offense, Brent, but they do coach it. They use it. They might consider getting into it in the more obvious passing downs rather than just waiting for the third and real longs.
Ismail at the 2. 15, 20 to the 24-yard line.
This is what's tough on a young linebacker. Now watch Glenn Young right here. He's reading the running back start his course like that, and then he gets the cutback and a real good block by Diego London, the left guard, number 74. See that? Now he's flowing inside. Now freeze it right there. Freeze it. Normally you would have a linebacker falling into here, but with the spread formation, he's walked out and he can't get there. See, here he comes in too late.
Marcus Lee is the fullback in front of Terry Richardson. The straight I formation. The option look. Graves hit by Armstead and down at the 21-yard line. The linebacker all over him.
See, Armstead, the linebacker, is reading the offensive line blocking on that play action. If he reads play action, they've given him the okay to blitz. Because when they normally run the option on that side, Brent, they block down. See, then he plays the option. If they play pass it, they hook block, and he's to shoot it. It worked that time.
A 4-yard loss puts Syracuse in 2nd and 14. McNeil, the corner, is overmatched up against Shelby Hill. The toss to Richardson. Richardson hit by Smith first, who is in hot pursuit, and then Greer coming over on top of him and doing a little barking on that far side. It is so hard against this team speed of this Miami defense to get yourself turned back upfield. They just run you out of bounds laterally.
You follow the linebackers right here as they pursue. Yes, they acknowledge the fullback is fake too up inside, but watch Barrow, number 56, to the right side. Look at him. Good inside-out pursuit. He can't come back. Then he rallies the help of the rest of the defense. There's Smith right there, number 45. Then they knock him out of bounds. Good speed.
Now a 3rd and 12, and that shotgun look. Graves steps away from the pressure. Intercepted on the ricochet. Picked off by Siegler, and Siegler to the 30. Down to the 27-yard line. The ball should have been caught. He threw it rather hard, perhaps, and I believe it came off Kerry Farrell's hands. Let's take a look.
Yeah, no excuse, so he has to make that catch. Marvin Graves back in the shotgun. He's pressured out of the pocket. He has time to find the receiver downfield. Kerry Farrell coming back to the inside now from the left side of your screen. You'll see him right there. Now he throws it. Here it is, right on the money. Yes, a little bit behind. Have to make the catch if you're going to beat a great team.
The first interception by Miami. There were 2 by Syracuse. And it gives Gino Torretta and the offense a first down inside the Syracuse 30. With 3 wide receivers. Torretta from the shotgun. Throws to the right. Incomplete. He hits Coleman Bell. And for the tight end, who came in as the leading receiver, his first reception of the game.
Coleman Bell might very well be the underrated guy. As you said, Brent came in the leading receiver with 37. Has been on the Dean's list as a student. One of the outstanding basketball players in the state as a high school player. Outstanding athlete, but you just don't read much about him.
A 16-yard completion. Larry Jones, the running back. Harris, Thomas, and Chris Jones, the wide receivers to the left. Jones on a cutback down at the 7-yard line, and Dan Conley. And tomorrow, it's the finals of the showdown in women's tennis. Acura presents the Virginia Slims Championships. Live coverage from Madison Square Garden begins at 1 Eastern tomorrow on ABC.
Syracuse defensively now, they've got to come up with some kind of a blitz. Brent, get back there, get him in a scramble situation, see if they can't force the turnover.
Larry Jones to the 3-yard line, and Young.
Offensive line is controlling the defensive down 4 right now. They're coming off the ball in their zone blocking principles, shoulder to shoulder, blocking what they see, knocking people back off the ball. Sometimes it's right now, Brent, you throw away your game plan and do something. Hey, I've got to create something bad for Miami right now. All out. Let him go have it.
3rd and 3. And Sophie wants to signal the timeout, which has been called by Miami. Lamar Thomas asked for the timeout and went over to the sideline to confer with the coaches.
You know, I talked with Coach Erickson on the field yesterday. I think he was a little bit more nervous than the players. The players were out there jiving around and real relaxed. But the coaching staff, they were uptight. Came here with a lot of respect for Syracuse.
Coming up on the Prudential halftime report, John Saunders will have scores and highlights from all of today's games, plus a feature on Florida State's quarterback and 2-sport star, Charlie Ward. Next Saturday, a big one down in Tallahassee. The Seminoles of Florida State against the Gators of Florida.
You know, I had an opportunity to take a sneak look at Florida State. Oh, Brent, they have some boys who can play.
One thing that Miami is not short of is confidence, and Coach Dennis Erickson spoke about that.
We've been able to do it, and we've done it for a lot of years, and the players that have played in it have taught the younger players how to do it, and that's how it's kind of come down over the years. And we're just confident that in big games that we're going to come through and make plays when we have to, and that's what we've been able to do so far.
Looking for one here on 3rd and 3. Torretta fires incomplete. The running back, Donnell Bennett, the intended receiver, and it's field goal time for Dane Pruitt.
Donnell Bennett came out of the backfield. They don't do that very much with their one-back set, but he's out there, special play. There it is. He's wide open. Just doesn't get him the football.
A 22-yard attempt. He made a 30-yarder. And he's now 2 for 2.
Yes, they gave up 3 points, but boy, and stopping it from getting that big 6, maybe 7 with the extra point, still a pretty good series down inside the 10-yard line.
Miami extends its lead to 13 points here in the first half.
They're doing a good job of converting 3rd down, Brent. Miami is. Syracuse and their coaches are going to maybe have to just come up with a little different scheme or part of their defensive package on 3rd down to shake them up a little bit.
He's coming down with me. I'm reaching him. He see you come back. He's coming right back, and I can't get him block that way.
2 years ago, he replaced Coach Dick McPherson, who is now recovering over in Boston after undergoing surgery. And Dick, we certainly want to wish Coach Mack nothing but the best in his speedy recovery. He had to feel a little bit better when his team went down there to Indianapolis and came up with his first win.
Their first win. I talked to some of the people here during the week, and they said they had talked to him on the phone, and they got a letter from him, and it was typical Coach Mack, and he must be feeling better, they said.
He'd feel a lot better if the Syracuse offense could get something going here, too. Ismail trying to spark the team to the 30-yard line. One of the things about Marvin Graves and the attack he's running with the offensive line being overwhelmed, especially at the tackle spots. He's not getting much time to maneuver, is he?
That's right. And plus, a lot of their play actions come off option where you go down the line of scrimmage, Brent, and that makes it even tougher.
Walker in it, tailback behind Wooten. This is Walker. Walker to the 33, and let's go downstairs to John Spagnola. John?
Thank you, Brent. I'm with Lawrence Moten, the freshman player of the year in basketball for the Syracuse Orangemen, who also happens to be Marvin Graves' roommate. Right now, Lawrence, what would you tell Marvin Graves? He's only 2 for 8 in this game, and he's thrown an interception.
Yeah, well, I think he's playing pretty well. And it's, the team offensively and defensively is playing well. I was just telling him to, keep his composure and stay focused. That's all I could tell him.
Okay, thank you, Lawrence.
And Moten will have to carry the Orangemen basketball team this year, too. He figures hugely in Jimmy Boeheim's plans. Graves is sacked again. Inside the 25, Mark Caesar hitting him first. Just no time.
A very, very powerful bull rush type guy. See, they also brought the outside linebackers so they can't get any help. You'll see him coming from the outside, see them coming. No one can help anybody. He beats him around to the outside like that. Good power. He got on that shoulder and just kept coming to the quarterback.
That's the 5th sack. A 7-yard loss. 3rd and 15. Graves gets time. Going to go deep for Hill. He has overthrown him. Hill was running into double coverage. The free safety, Terrace Harris, was behind him. The strong safety, Casey Greer, had him in the front, and he was sandwiched. But Graves did have time that time.
He did have time because that time they only brought the down 4. So that leaves a center to help out inside like that. And even a running back in position now can take a little chip on a defensive end coming around the outside.
How good has this Miami defense been? Syracuse still looking for its first down of the game. Pat O'Neill punting again for the Orangemen. And Miami will try to get some more before the end of the half. Takes a Syracuse bounce right into Williams' hands. He gets a block, and he is down at the 29-yard line. 1:15 for Gino Torretta and his posse to operate out here in the Carrier Dome.
And he has 2 timeouts left to operate within this 2-minute period. And they're already in a basic 2-minute type offense all the time. 4 receivers, 3 receivers, a tight end spread out, 1 back, or empty with no back. So they're really equipped to handle this kind of a situation real well.
Favored by a touchdown. Miami leads it by 13. The wideouts out to the left. And Torretta fires short to Williams in a foot race. Runs away, and Young finally brings him down from behind at the 45-yard line. You get Kevin Williams matched up against an inside linebacker on a short pass, and it is off to the races.
The whole game plan is, yes, if they catch it, fine. Just don't let them turn upfield.
4 wide receivers. Torretta with time. The Womack picks it off. The 3rd interception for Syracuse in the first half. Great catch by Womack out of Florida. He's a converted quarterback from the Tampa, Florida area.
He tried to throw the seam pass much better against zone defenses. He tried to lay it in there. He had good time. He throws it in, but he's tight on him right like that. See, right on him, picks it off, and boy, is that out of character for Torretta. He just doesn't throw interceptions. He's reading it all away. He lays it up there, lays it a little too flat. See that? A little too flat. Got to get it over the top to that outside shoulder.
Doug Womack votes for Marshall Faulk. It's 1st and 10 for Syracuse. Inside of a minute.
They have all 3 timeouts.
Off a fake. Graves to Gedney, his first catch. and Gedney to the 37-yard line.
See, and if they're going to score points, Brent, you just made the statement, his first catch. If they're going to score, they've got to get the ball in that guy's hands. He's the #1 receiver as a tight end in the history of the school.
That's their first down of the half. It's for 25 yards, and Brian Pacucci checks in at fullback. Walker is the halfback. Gray's backside is in the arms of Kevin Patrick.
He comes back around the outside. You know, he replaced Rusty Medeiros, the fine defensive lineman. He gets his 8th sack of the year.
That was sack number 6 for a 6-yard loss.
Brent,
6 sacks here in the first half. Timeout with 40 seconds to go. Since heyday down at Miami, the Hurricanes used to love to saddle up against Oklahoma and the wishbone. And here they have shut down Syracuse's option attack with Dennis Erickson inheriting that defensive legacy. This is 2nd and 16 at the 44-yard line for Syracuse. Drops it off to Walker, and the linebackers led by Barrow crawl all over the running back, and Barrow is shaken up. Barrow is down at the 45-yard line.
He reads things so quickly and then doesn't waste a step in getting to where he has to go to make the play. You'll see him right here in the middle of your screen. Now watch what he does. He'll read the action, lineman all sitting tall. He sees this now. He sits there, he turns, he sees the middle screen start. He ricochets off the offensive tackle, goes up, takes it on, puts him down. A real solid candidate for the Butkus Award.
A timeout by Syracuse. So Syracuse uses a timeout to see what they can do here with the final 32 seconds of the first half.
You know, if anything, if they can just go off the field with a field goal, they have a good kicker. Yes, he has missed one, but go off the field with something positive.
Barrow, one of the finalists for the Butkus Award, which is presented to the top linebacker.
Brent, he came in this ball game with 209 solo tackles. That ought to earn you the right to be considered very seriously for that valuable award.
Third and 16. Can they get close enough for Biscuit to attempt a field goal? Pressure. Graves forced to run out of bounds. He was out of bounds before he threw the ball. Patrick Riley in hot pursuit.
Patrick Riley really hasn't been playing. He's been injured. He's back healthy playing, and he has that fresh legs. He's quick as heck. He's in the backfield. Kevin Patrick was there as well. Oh, Coach Erickson's got that hat tilted off to one side. He must know he has things under control, huh? Hey, this is not a bad job. Nothing to it.
Just a little more speed here than what he was accustomed to at Montana State.
Yeah, just a little more.
Hey, listen, some of those Cowboys run pretty well when they have to.
You bet, yeah. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, running from the cops, that is.
No, no, no. When you're bulldogging.
Yeah.
Here's O'Neal. He'll come out on the 20 with 17 ticks of the clock left.
With 17 seconds left and momentum in favor of Miami, you'd think they might just flop this one out.
You know, Dick, I kept hearing all week, especially yesterday on the television, that John Cooper was going to be fired as the Ohio State head coach if he didn't beat Michigan. No one told me what was going to happen if he tied. Does he get half a year next year? What's the deal?
He gets half his contract.
Or do we go to the Citrus Bowl? We have to win again. I don't know.
I know. People
anyway, John Saunders will fill us in on what's going on around
I hope they don't
college football. First and 10. Miami up by 13. And they are content to take that lead into the locker room here at intermission. Number 1 Miami leads number 8 Syracuse 13-0. Defense, defense, defense.
Been Olympic champions. In 1976, John Neighbor fulfilled a childhood promise by capturing the 100-meter backstroke.
John Neighbor has almost a full body length lead over Mathis, a half a body over Rocca. It's Americans 1-2. It is John Neighbor. It is Peter Rocca.
As part of their continued support of amateur athletics, Visa today is proud to donate another $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team to support future Olympic hopefuls in their quest for the gold.
Far from Bourbon Street, in its own little corner of the Garden District, is the most fabled house in New Orleans, the Maple Street Children's Bookshop, where the folks who write the books also read them. So if you go, bring your wildest imagination and your Visa card, because at Maple Street, they'll take you on a truly magical journey, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
CFA College Football, this ABC Sports exclusive. Brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, Chevrolet, and your local Chevy dealer. And by U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
With Dick Vermeil and John Spagnola, I'm Brent Musburger. And, Coach, what can Syracuse do in this situation?
Well, Brent, normally in this situation, you go in, you have things you can do within your scheme technically to change, and all that can help you. But I don't think that's the problem. I think they're just getting whipped physically on the line of scrimmage, and you can't just come up with 5 new offensive linemen.
You know, Dick, when they were headed toward the locker room, our John Spagnola caught up with the Syracuse coach, and let's check in on that conversation.
I'm here with head coach Paul Pasqualoni, and Paul, had I told you to be +2 in the turnover column going into the halftime, you probably would think you'd be leading this game.
Yeah, we would, John. We feel good about being there, but we've just got to get something going. You know, their speed coming up the field on the pass and on the option has really hurt us, and they have all the speed that they said they had.
Yeah, +2 in turnovers. Let's take a look at the interceptions. Remember, Gino Torretta, the co-favorite for the Heisman Trophy, came in here with 122 consecutive passes without an interception, and yet look at this.
You know, and he tries that, and he throws a little flat one trying to hit the receiver in behind, and Conley picks it off. He tries to hit a seam pattern. He gets it picked off. He gets a batted ball right here. You know, really, that shouldn't count against the quarterback, but it does. Now the seam pattern to the right side of your screen, trying to lay it in there. Again, a little bit flat. You'll see it flown too low. Pick off, not part of his personality as a quarterback. Take a look at these numbers. -1 total yards. Boy, I'll tell you, I thought personally that Syracuse could generate a little bit more offense than they have, but Miami defense is playing really close to their character.
The time of possession shows you that the clock continues to run during a sack, folks.
That's right. They have gotten after him. They've sacked him, like 7 times here in the first half. They came into the ball game sacking the quarterback every 11 snaps. That's an outstanding ratio, ladies and gentlemen. The Big East average is 1 in 15.
Miami will get the ball to start the second half. And it'll be Kevin Williams kneeling down in the end zone on Pat O'Neill's kickoff, and that's what he features. That long kickoff that is not recovered. Over 70% of his career kickoffs have gone into the end zone, including better than 80% last season. So he possesses a very strong leg. They may need a 50-yard field goal here.
Yeah, they started out so poorly. That's why when they were ahead 3-0 at the first quarter, you know, Syracuse had to feel pretty good about it. They're picking the ball off, playing pretty good defense, but they just cannot generate anything. They've got to generate some kind of a turnover right now.
Gino Torretta starts the second half with Stephen McGuire moving up to the wing. His first action This is his first time on artificial turf since that knee injury against Boston College, and the ball thrown to Copeland here on the near side.
Kevin Mitchell, the nose guard for Syracuse, is one of the quickest defensive linemen we've seen all year. Here he is working on Terrell Green, the offensive center, and he's so quick at getting around people. You should always give him some help.
3 interceptions. Wow.
Here he is right there in the middle of your screen there to the right side. Now watch how quick he is when that ball moves. Boom, he gets around. See, look at him jump around on that stunt, get upfield, trying to find a way to get to the quarterback.
But yet the defense has done the job, and now the Hurricanes up by 13, and a completion, and that's to the tight end Coleman Bell at the 30-yard line. It'll be very close to a first down for Miami.
Coleman Bell.
Boy, you get sandwiched in between those two fine linebackers, Dan Connolly and Glenn Young. Those guys, they can give you a headache. I visited with Connolly the other day, and I asked him what he was worried about in regard to their offense. He said it was the counter option pass. He didn't know if it was a run or a pass, and he was wrong most of the time on the practice field.
11-1, and Syracuse's first down came on their final drive of the first half. McGuire, the touchdown maker, to the 40 and close to another first down with Usman Bari, number 26, bringing him down.
Those big offensive linemen come off like that. You know, on that side, when they come off in that zone blocking, every once in a while, they get a little help from their inside linemen, and you get 2-on-1, Brent.
This is quite a story. He came back from major knee surgery, and the coach is telling us yesterday, but slowly but surely that knee is coming along, and he's almost back to where he was before he suffered that season-ending injury against Boston College. Now, short, he breaks a tackle and picks up a Miami first down at the 43-yard line.
That quick nose guard that we were talking about, Kevin Mitchell, jumped around the center and got in there and nailed him in the backfield, but he ricocheted off him and moved up and made the first down.
James Spencer finally bringing him down.
You'll see what I'm talking about. If you have a quick nose guard, you should always try to block him with 2 people.
4 defensive, make it 5 defensive substitutions for Syracuse. A late substitution against this 3-4 wide receiver package for Miami. Toretta, DeBell juggles, and down the sideline goes the tight end to the 10-yard line. Glenn Young catching him from behind.
They had been running that little flat pattern underneath with Kevin Williams. This time they run the same pattern, but they run the corner pattern to the tight end. 17 in the middle of your screen, back off. Now see, he's on the linebacker. He's on Glenn Young. See him going to the corner, no help. Boy, that's a mismatch right there, and beautiful hands. Reach out there, pluck the ball out of the air, now sprints toward the end zone.
A 46-yard gain to the Syracuse 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
He liked that, didn't he? Oh, yeah.
McGuire on a cutback is met in the hole, breaks away from Young, and finally stacked up at the 12-yard line. It was Young who slowed him up, but McGuire demonstrating great strength. He's a young man out of Brooklyn, and he's delivered the load that time.
Earlier we showed you Glenn Young over pursuing now, and they gave him a touchdown. Now watch what he does. He doesn't over pursue. You're not going to get me the second time. I'm going to fill that hole. Just didn't get him down.
And Spencer again cleaning up. Miami in a passing situation. 4 wide receivers. Williams is over on the short side of the field. This time, Toretta will not be able to hand off. He doesn't have a running back.
And he isn't going to run the quarterback draw.
Blitz, backside, Williams. And Williams wrapped up by Bowery.
Good job, guys. Good job, guys.
Boy, when you can get the ball, you know, you're big and tall, like at 6'3". Even though they have pressure in your face outside, you still find a way to get it over. You'll see the people coming to the outside. There's JoJo Wooden, number 83. See, he still gets it over there. JoJo should have jumped as soon as he cocked the arm. Toretta does such a good job in these late games, and each year in his career in November, he's come on strong. Look at those numbers.
And today has matched his interception total, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
He's had a season today with 3 interceptions. He'd thrown only 4 all year coming in here. Here is 3rd and 5.
Holding.
There's the call, and they're going to bring this one back on the holding. Hold on. The pass to Coleman Bell in the end zone. This one's coming back.
He had to call that, Brent. I saw that up from up here, and it would have been a crime had he not called that. The offensive right tackle had Garland Hawkins in a necktie takedown type move. You see him to the right side of your screen, number 72, Mario Cristobal. See, now he's working outside there. He'll appear late to the right side. There he is right there. And then he pulls his hands off and says, oh, hey, I didn't do anything.
Gave him a little of the Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
That's that new
I can't believe you said that.
No, neither can Lou. But you know what? It's true, isn't it? Hard to believe that Miami didn't get accused of that.
I thought that was Lou Holtz. What a run.
Third down and 17. Toretta fires, deflected, incomplete, and Joseph should have intercepted the ball. He stepped in front and couldn't get a handle.
Played it perfect. The receiver did not give him enough stick to the inside to freeze him when he ran the out. He rolled out Joseph in perfect position to the right side of your screen. He just doesn't make the catch. He has 5 career interceptions. He should make that one.
You know, he's playing with that injured right hand, and it has hurt him going after passes for the last couple of weeks. Now a 35-yard attempt by Dane Pruitt. He's 2 for 2. This one is good. He's 3 for 3. Dane Pruitt's 3rd field goal puts Miami up by 16.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
This man has 2 of the fastest feet in the world. But even they can't pump a brake as fast as this Chevy Cavalier's standard anti-lock brake system.
Oh, yeah?
Without ABS, no matter how fast your feet are, this can happen.
Whoa!
But to help you stop and steer on slippery surfaces, Cavalier's anti-lock brakes pump on and off up to 15 times a second.
Yeah, but can they do this?
The safety of ABS. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
Brent Couples, Tom Kite, Greg Norman, and Payne Stewart. 4 of golf's leading men see who's the king of swing in the Skins game next Saturday on ABC Sports.
It's time for Kadri Ismail, an All-American here in track and football. Certainly joins the legendary Jim Brown, who made it in football and lacrosse. And Miami, they don't kick away from anybody, folks. They say, Kadri, here it comes, and we're coming after you. That has been the maneuver all day. Syracuse put in a reverse. No need to hold it back, the coach says, so let's see what happens. Here comes the missile. 15, alley to the 30. Now we go to John Spagnola. John?
Thank you, Brent. One of the halftime adjustments Syracuse offense is tinkering with in the second half here is to use the shotgun a little bit more. They feel that this will allow Marvin Graves to see the front in front of him, and also the secondary coverages might buy him a little bit more time. So we'll see them use it. They used it twice in the first half. Probably use it a little bit more here in the second half.
Must have been eavesdropping, John, on Dick Vermeil. He suggested early in this going that might be able to give him a little more time. Eric Chenoweth, their other tight end, is out to the left side in this formation. Now he comes in motion. They load behind as a blocker. So there's a different look, and they hand off to the fullback, Al Wooten. And let's check in with John Saunders.
Friend, Washington and Washington State, it's still snowing, but Drew Bledsoe doesn't seem to be affected. It's Calvin Schexnayder here, 15 yards, his second touchdown pass of the game. And right now, Washington State in control, 21-7. Brent.
Boy, the Huskies are lucky, aren't they, John, that they had wrapped up the Rose Bowl already? Of course, they might have had a little more desire today if they hadn't been in that bowl. You never know how a team's going to react. Walker to the 45. Walker across midfield. That is the best run from scrimmage of the game. 17 yards for Syracuse.
See now, a little counter action. Tailback starts to the right and cuts back up inside real quick. You'll see it right here. Now see him start. Freeze it right there. He gets a good block there. He gets a good block there. Good block there. That gets him up inside. Now he gets a block downfield from Ismail right here. Gets a little screen block, just enough to get him to the outside.
They didn't wait to get their initial first down of the second half. Armstead, Barrow, and Smith. The three linebackers get ready. Barrow creeps up to the line of scrimmage. Syracuse content to muscle to the 47-yard line that time. Let's look at the top 10. Miami trying to win its 5th national championship of the decade. Winning here. Alabama resting, waiting for the Auburn showdown. Florida State jumped over Texas A&M into 3rd. That is a controversial jump, folks. There are a lot of people around the country who are uneasy about a once-beaten team going up on an unbeaten team. And don't tell me about difficulty of schedules. That's pretty hard to figure out sometimes. At any rate, we'll have to see exactly what happens. Second down now.
Blitz. Here they come.
Graves, Armstead reaching for him. He completes the pass. Able to get it off. Ryan McNeil with the coverage, and the Canes drive the receiver back with Barrow over there, and now pushing and shoving is going to break out, and the officials have got to be careful about allowing 4 defensive players to gang up in a situation like that.
Well, they saw the blitz. They got it picked up enough to get the ball off properly, Brent, and then everybody is just flying to him, and you don't need all the extra stuff after you get him wrapped up there. See, he's all wrapped up. You'll see it right there in the middle of your screen. There's McNeil's got him. Here it comes. He's not going down, so they can keep hitting him.
Pushing back.
Way back.
And they did just, you know what they need? They needed that referee from the Riddick Bowie Vander Holyfield fight. He did a great job. Get him out of there. Get them away from each other. 3rd and 5 now. Clean them up out there. Here we go.
Here's that shotgun. Offensive lineman up in that 2-point stance.
And Smith creeps up on the line of scrimmage. He's going to blitz. Picked up by the fullback. Graves rolls, and Smith is coming to the backside, and Graves runs away from him for the first down. Kevin Patrick finally got there.
See, you really have to be careful how you rush a quarterback that can run. See, he gets back there. He's already in the shotgun, and he breaks the contain of the defense because the defender came back inside. You'll see there that Crine came back inside. See, that allowed a running quarterback to get outside. Have to maintain leverage on him.
First and 10. Getney slotted to the left. It's the fullback, Wooten, to the 16. And that time they influenced Barrow out, and they forced the free safety Terrace Harris to make the stop after an 18-yard run on the quick hitter.
They just popped it right up inside. Normally when they run this play, they run the trap blocking on it. Here it comes. See him, he'll hand it up right inside. Good trap, freeze it right there. See that nice trap right there? That really opened it up. Now he's on the safety. Terrace Harris has to make the play.
And Barrow was influenced over to the right that time and jumped out of his middle linebacking spot.
Thought they were going to run the freeze option, see? They're making a comeback here.
First and 10. Graves and there was a mix-up in the backfield. So Graves keeps it and dives to the 16-yard line, and Syracuse wastes a down in that situation.
You know, Sonny Lubick, the defensive coordinator for Miami, told me if they got to running the ball pretty well, they were going to go to 5 defensive linemen and only play 3 defensive backs. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make that switch.
You know who Sonny grew up with in Butte, Montana?
Oh, I knew you'd get that plug in there.
Evil Knievel.
Oh, really? Awful Knievel?
He's got one of Evil's paintings worth several $1,000s. He saved it from the hurricane. 2nd down and 11 now for Graves and Syracuse. Wishbone look. And this is Walker. A penalty flag as Walker explodes inside the 15. The penalty flag came flying from the side.
The one thing they are doing, though, adjustment at halftime, they're using more counter action. Just quick misdirection to start Barrow running the wrong way.
Illegal formation against Syracuse. Only 6 men on the line.
I saw that, Brent. The wide receiver in the over formation, they were unbalanced to the left. He was back off the ball. No excuse for that.
And a costly mistake mentally for the Orangemen, isn't it? He had nothing to do with the successor.
Absolutely nothing. You know, and as a wide receiver, there's nothing between you and the ball but air. There's no reason to ever line up improperly.
Ball goes back to the 22-yard line. Remaining 2nd down. 2nd and 15.
Second and 16 for the Orangemen. The swing to Walker. Gets a good block. And he is down at the 16. And another penalty flag comes throwing, this time from the back judge.
Illegal pushing the back on the offense.
Jeez. I know how you feel there, Paul. This reminds me of that Boston game last week. That one series.
We had 5 penalties there. You know, tomorrow it's the finals of the showdown of women's tennis. Martina Navratilova and Monica Seles as Acura presents the Virginia Slims Championships. Live coverage from the Garden at 1 Eastern tomorrow on ABC. Here, Miami, ranked #1 and trying to win back-to-back national championships as an undefeated team, is shutting out Syracuse 16-0. The Orangemen, with their most impressive drive of the game until just a few moments ago, when they started to self-destruct.
They can't afford to take a sack here, Brent. They're in field goal range now.
Fakes the draw, steps away from trouble, throws to the end zone. Cudry can't hold on.
He was across the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball.
An illegal forward pass, and this will take them completely out of field goal range. A costly mistake.
You can only make these kind of mistakes against the team that you're physically superior to. When you play a #1 team in the country, you're not going to beat them doing these kind of things. You're getting whipped physically as it is. Now you'll see he comes out of the action. There's good pressure, but good presence of mind to get going. He just waited too long to make the decision to throw the football. It's dropped anyway. Cudry has a chance to make a play. He drops it.
Probably hurt even more if he'd have held on now and had it nullified by the penalty.
See, now they're all the way back to a 47-yard field goal attempt if they don't, advance the ball here.
This is 3rd and 23. From the shotgun. Brings down the high snap. Throws complete to Hill inside the 15-yard line.
The offensive line did an awfully nice job of picking up the defensive line stunts. He then worked up inside the pocket at the advantage of the shotgun. Everything ends up behind him. Watch it now. He steps up inside. Nice pickup right there. He steps in that little hole. Great poise by Marvin Graves.
Now the field goal attempt. John Biskup. Now a 31-yard field goal attempt by John Biskup. It's good. Syracuse on the scoreboard. So after a penalty-marred drive, a pass to Hill from Graves for 16 yards sets up the field goal, and it is 16-3. There were some boos in this crowd in the Carrier Dome with the decision to kick the field goal, but that was absolutely the right thing to do.
That's not even the decision. You know, Brent, I mean, that's an automatic.
4 minutes and 29 seconds to go in quarter number 3 here. And the Miami Hurricanes, the team of the decade, trying to tack up one more championship. And their 28th straight victory under that man, Dennis Erickson.
You can tell, being the head coach at Miami, yes, you win and it's fun to win and all that, but boy, the pressure wears on you. By the end of the year, you know, ladies and gentlemen, his hair wasn't that gray at the start of the season. There's another guy that's put pressure on, but when you visit with him, he doesn't show any signs of concern for pressure in big games. He really doesn't.
Dane Pruitt put Miami up on a 30-yard field goal. Then 11-yard run by Larry Jones. That was in the second quarter. A 22-yarder by Pruitt. His third field goal from 35 yards out. And Biskup put Syracuse on the scoreboard to make it 16-3 with 4 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the third quarter. Drives Williams to the back of the end zone. It'll come out on the 20.
Boy, does he have a nice leg. On the practice field the other day, I watched him kick. I asked him, did you develop your leg as a kicker in football or what? He said, no, I was a soccer player all the way and then moved on in to kicking.
Toretta struggling today, and yet so is Marshall Faulk, out with a knee injury out west after 2 carries for 21 yards and 1 touchdown. So on first down, Toretta firing to Williams, and he is out of bounds. So those of you who have been watching Washington and Washington State, this has been a defensive struggle. Gino Toretta threw 3 interceptions in the first half, and yet Syracuse could not cash in. They had only 1 first down in the first half. They were held to -1 total yards. Miami's only score, a running play. With 4:22 to go, it is 16-3, the Hurricanes. Toretta on a quick drop under pressure, throws complete to Spencer to the 35-yard line, and a first down for Miami.
It's so hard to get to him in those quick 3-step pedal techniques and just pop the ball out there. The only way you can take those patterns away is to get out and crowd him man-to-man and then back him up with the free safeties. But, boy, then you take other chances. You'll see the pedal technique. See him just turn straight back. He's looking to his left all the way. Bang. Normally the quarterback will turn and drop back with his shoulders at right angles to the line of scrimmage.
3 wide receivers are off to the quarterback's right, and the tight end Bell off to his left. And they run with McGuire. Dan Conley, the linebacker, hitting him at the 38-yard line.
He's a chip off the old style linebacker. I think he wished they would outlaw the pass. You know, just, hey, let's run the ball 75 times and let's use the best football team.
9 tackles and 2 interceptions for Dan Conley today. 2nd and 7. Bennett is the motion receiver, waits in the flat, but down to Kevin Williams with great speed, trying to dance free, and he's brought down at the 46-yard line. First down, Miami.
Torretta has such great understanding of what's going on over there defensively. He knows where he's going with the ball. It's defined quickly. That's why he gets rid of the ball so quickly. He knows where he's going right after his first read.
Miami's offensive line holding up, allowing the Hurricanes to move their tight end outside, and they run Bennett. A penalty flag down. Bennett to the 49-yard line.
I think they're going to call holding. Whenever the umpire, in this case it's Carl Crawley, the umpire throws the flag.
Number 33 carried.
Holding. Offense.
Did it? Oh, you're kidding me, he says. You're kidding me. You know, when you've been winning a lot, you start, as a coach, Brent, you start thinking that officials are going to try to balance it up a little bit by calling some on you. I mean, that's your mindset.
You know, if Miami's 19 seniors win the rest of their games, they will have their 3rd national championship in 4 years. That has been achieved only once before by a senior class in the history of college football, and that was that great 1949 class out of Notre Dame. Johnny Lujack and some of the greatest names in the game, and Miami going to take a shot at it. 1st and 16. Torretta. Complete to Thomas at the 49-yard line.
Doing a real good job there. Rich Olson, the quarterback coach, working with Coach Erickson on calling the offense. See, not trying to get it all back in one snap. Just go ahead, get 8-9 yard gain, move it up there. Now you come up with 8 yards to go. Good decision. Their offense really, Brent, is so simple. They do the same things every week. The only wrinkle they added this week was the 4 receivers. But if you look at them over 4 or 5 games, they do the same things every week with great speed and definition.
2nd and 8. Under pressure, throws incomplete. The defensive rush that time by Bryce Bevel, who was coming with Garland Hawkins, forced Torretta to throw quickly and out of rhythm.
I think Torretta expected his wide receiver to read that blitz and break it off, and that's why he threw it out in that area of the field.
Third and 8. The ball on the Miami 49. It's 16-3. Hurricanes over the Orangemen. Final minute and a half of quarter number 3. Torretta, first down to Bell at the 40.
He dropped that ball, then picked it up.
They're ruling. The official is there waving it off.
Yeah, he dropped it, then picked it up. Coleman Bell, the tight end, number 17. You'll see him to the left side of your screen working on Glenn Young. Now to the right side of your screen working a square in pattern. He stops. He's got it tucked in right now. That looks like a fumble and then a recovery.
That's what it looked like there. Yeah. So Washington State pummeling Washington. Not a good day for the Rose Bowl.
They need a sled dog up there, not a husky.
And Hill signals for the fair catch and grabs it at the 6-yard line. Miami 16, Syracuse 3 here in the Carrier Dome.
It takes strength to go climbing 7 days a week. That's why one compact pickup powers you with the biggest full-size V6 engine you can get. Only Chevy S10 Tahoe 4x4. Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Make it clear. Make it colorful. Make it both. The DeskJet 550C. With DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard, it's easy to make it happen.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Out here, if you don't have a Die-Hard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die-Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most. Hitachi?
Wait, I know. They make...
Look, your favorite show.
Oh.
Hitachi makes big screen TVs and 20,000 other entertaining products. Hitachi.
Here. There. Everywhere. The DeskJet Portable. DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Make it happen.
1:16 left in the third quarter, and Marvin Graves, who is the cousin of a former Miami Dolphin star, Tony Nathan, moves up under center to see what he can do against this ferocious Miami defense. Walker's his running back. Graves keeps it. Graves to the 17, and Casey Greer brings him down.
That's a specially designed counter play that the quarterback runs the ball. Now you'll note here, running backs will flow. They'll pull the guard and trap across. The quarterback will fake, and he's the ball carrier. Put in specifically for this game. See this? Now, real good flow, good blocking. There he's up in that lane. Good job, good design.
9-yard run for Graves. 2nd and 1. Ismail, he's the motion receiver. Graves brings it. Now he tosses to Walker. Walker runs it out of bounds at an angle at the 22. Ryan McNeil in pursuit. Now Armstead comes over to make sure that his cornerback does not get involved in some pushing and shoving. Patrick and Harris are right there.
That's the option play, you know, and in this one they don't pull any offensive linemen, so they keep the line of scrimmage clean. Now here comes the linebacker. He gets picked up right there. He flips it out. Now here comes Barrow chasing him. There's 45. Williams, that's Smith chasing him, 45.
Boy, these sidelines here at the Carrier Dome are very tight, aren't they? And they are crowded today for this one. Now here's Graves. Is to Walker to the 27. Michael Barrow making another stop, and let's check in with John Saunders. John?
Brent, TCU and Texas A&M, Corey Pullig hooks up with Tony Harrison here. The fake, and then the toss to his left. Harrison does the rest of the work. 37 yards of the touchdown as Texas A&M is inching closer to the Cotton Bowl. Brent.
And John, they're trying to put enough points up today so the voters jump them back ahead of Florida State. I guess it's come to that, huh? How many points you score? That's a terrible thing, isn't it? And Michael Barrow is the injured player with a great middle linebacker kneeling down here. And we'll return with the fourth quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The more you take away from this Chevy...
Miami trying to win for the 28th consecutive time, the longest winning streak in college football. With Dick Vermeil and John Spagnola from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, I'm Brent Musburger. Now for the Orangemen to start the fourth quarter, it is 2nd and 7. Graves keeps it off the fake and hits the tight end Gedney. And Gedney gives the Orangemen a first down at the 36, and downstairs we go to John Spagnola.
Thank you very much, Brent. I'm here with Rocket Ismail. A second ago, I saw you looking at your brother, Kadri, and he was looking at you. What were you doing?
Basically, I just told him to relax And when the ball comes to him, to make sure he goes through his techniques, look the ball in all the way, and then let it come from the heart and take over, and he'll be okay.
Okay, Brent, take the next play. I'd like to ask Rocket another question.
You got it, John. We'll come right back to you. And Ismail so far had only that pass thrown to him in the end zone that he couldn't get a handle on. So now there's a penalty flag down on the play. And Ismail with a great catch. But hold on, folks. There is a penalty flag. Hold on, Rocket. I think this one is coming back, partner. Let's see. Now, wait a minute. Was he pushed? Yes.
Yeah.
Now let's go back down to John Spagnola. Good moment right on cue, John.
Tell you what, this guy's got some great moves. I can't keep up with him, Brent. One more question, Rocket, and that is, what about your future? There's been talk about your contract getting bought out by an NFL team.
Okay, well, right now, all that's simply rumor. And as far as I'm concerned, next year I will be in Toronto, the Toronto Argonaut, and that's basically it.
Okay, thank you very much, Brent.
All right, so his brother with a 21-yard gain gives Syracuse a 1st and 10 at the Miami 43-yard line. Now Graves keeps it off the option fake. Now the pitch to Richardson. Oh, boy.
Can't do it much better than that. Poise. Defensive end came upfield too quick, didn't take the quarterback. He goes up underneath, takes it up the field, and then pitches it really late. Excellent execution of the option play.
So he lived up to that number 44 that time with a 12-yard run down the sideline. That is the most famous number in the history of Syracuse football, worn by the likes of Jimmy Brown, Floyd Little, the late Ernie Davis. Richardson takes a break. Walker is back in at tailback, and he is behind the fullback Marcus Lee. Lee straight ahead. Lee to the 15-yard line, and Harris, the free safety, has to make another stop.
See what they're doing? They're trapping those tackles now, Brent. Those tackles have been coming upfield really hard. They're taking advantage of those hard charges in cross-blocking with their center and guards. Good games. Boy, that last option was such a beautiful play.
Bob Marley's son, the feisty one, Rowan Marley, checks in after this, and Jesse Armstead, the linebacker who was over on that side on the late option. So we see one of the smallest yet most active linebackers in the college game. He's wearing number 2, but it doesn't stop the fullback, and he goes to the end zone. No signal yet. Hold on, folks. They're going to put it down on the 1-foot line. That's Marcus Lee.
It was that trap play again. Those tackles are going to have to pinch it off, or else they're going to have to go to their odd front, moving a man on the center's nose.
Now Jesse Armstead checks back into the game, and this will be a 1st and goal. Here comes Al Wooten, the fullback.
They like to get in a full house in this situation, Brent.
And they're going to have to call a timeout. Wooten had to turn around and come off the field. They had too many players on the field. Another mental mistake by Syracuse. But they've got a great chance here for a touchdown.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, that's my phone.
I'll connect you now.
Bonjour, here are the drawings. Looks good from here.
Hello.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Au revoir.
Hitachi makes digital communication systems and 20,000 other amazing products. Hitachi.
State Farm sells life insurance. And when we start you out with a life insurance plan, our job is just beginning. You see, we're there after you buy the policy, keeping in touch as your life changes, listening, explaining, answering your questions, helping you keep your life insurance plan up to date as your needs change. State Farm agents are there to start you right, and we're there to keep things right for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
These cars seem pretty much the same. But the more you get to know Chevy Lumina Euro, the more you realize you get more car for your money. like a bigger Standard engine, Standard anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, and more room. Lumina even has a higher resale value than Taurus. More car for your money when you buy it, more money for your car when you sell it. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
Dick, we must find out what happened to Michael Barrow on this run by Lee.
They're running like they run the option, see, and the tailback, who's the pitch man, he's locked on to him and going, but instead of going on down, they're trapping and giving up inside. See, now watch. Follow Barrow. See, here comes the trap inside. Nice hole up inside there like that. He's locked on to the pitch man.
Then they brought a lineman through who took on Marley, and that allowed Lee to get down to the goal line. It is now 1st and goal for the Orangemen. Here's that full house look. And it is another tight end, Chenoweth, who will go to the left halfback spot. Let's see what they finally come up with. They'll move Gedney up to the right and put him down.
They like to run behind him when they do that.
Chenoweth, Lee, now Chenoweth goes up, and it's a double tight look.
Now they'll run left. Nope, sneak it.
And over the top goes Graves for a Syracuse touchdown. Biscup attempting the extra point after Marvin Graves' 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Hold on to your seats, everybody. We got 13 minutes and 3 seconds to go. We got a 6-point game, and they are rocking in the Carrier Dome.
Before winter hits hard, get to Sears, America's #1 tire store. For a limited time, all Goodyear tires and all Bridgestone road handlers are on sale at Sears. All weather Goodyear Arrivas as low as $19.88, our lowest price ever. Backed by a 55,000-mile warranty. All Goodyear tires and all Bridgestone road handlers on sale. You can count on me. At America's #1 tire store, Sears.
What do you smell?
I can't smell anything. My nose is clogged, yeah.
For fast relief, try Dristan 12-hour nasal spray. Now smell.
It's an orange. Dristan nasal spray just works incredibly fast.
Dristan, the face of relief today.
In a world of constant change, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the rock. The Prudential Rock Solid.
When you can drive the vehicle that originated the species. Chevy Blazer.
It seems this battle always affects the Big 8 title, and this year is no different. Nebraska tackles Oklahoma Friday on ABC Sports.
Now it is up to Syracuse. Earlier this season, first it was Arizona, then it was Florida State, then it was Penn State. They all tested Miami and came up short in the 4th quarter. Now we'll find out what's in store here in the Carrier Dome. 13 minutes and 3 seconds to go. O'Neal drives it to the end zone. And out.
They have really taken momentum now. They have these people on their feet. Here's their first touchdown. It took them 48 snaps to finally get in there. Wasn't fancy, very simple. Quarterback sneak, just leaping in there. 48 snaps.
Where is Sherman Douglas? 1st and 10 now. Toretta goes for it all. Wants Copeland. Joseph incomplete. And Williams coming hard for a ricochet.
That was a great job by Joseph because Copeland can leap. A 7-foot high jumper. You know that he can leap. Here he is to the right side of your screen, locked on Joseph, number 9, to the left side. Great speed, sprint champion in the conference. Now watch him leap, but Joseph wisely turned and ran in time. Now he leaps too. Nice job, Joseph.
At the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. And for the 22nd year, through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. 2nd down and 10. 4 wide receivers. They blitz Toretta. He fires to Williams, and Williams with that speed out to the 29-yard line. And let's check in with John Saunders.
Brent, you talked about Texas A&M trying to impress the pollsters by rolling up some numbers. Well, Greg Hill is doing that on his own. 6 yards here on the touchdown. He has 187 yards in the game, and they're blowing it open. Brent.
All right, John, they were just short, was Miami, of a 1st down. This is going to be 3rd and inches. Donnell Bennett will be the running back behind Gino Toretta. Bennett. And it's going to be close. It will depend on where the ball is spotted at that 30-yard line.
A great job by Ernie Brown, big number 98. He get good penetration. He whipped him at the point of attack. Did a heck of a job.
1st down.
They still make it, but you'll see Jones. Now watch the penetration. See 98 to the left side of the screen. See him knock the offensive lineman back in there. Good job. They just didn't get some help soon enough to prevent the 1st down.
One of the most dangerous plays for Miami in this game has been using Kevin Williams just in over the middle for that short pass and then let him run. It is a play that has hurt Syracuse all season long. Williams is lined up on the short side of the field. The other 3 receivers to the right. Toretta. Complete. Working against the linebacker to the 38-yard line that time is Coleman Bell, the tight end.
That's receiver number 17, Coleman Bell.
Dan Conley has really been active today. Of course, the 2 first-half interceptions. He had 9 tackles coming into at halftime and has been very active. Played awfully well.
Toretta, with those 3 interceptions, now has thrown for better than 300 yards. 24 of 38. This is the hand to McGuire. Mitchell trying to hold on, and McGuire brought down at the 40-yard line.
Again, it's the quickness of the nose guard, Kevin Mitchell. It got penetration. They couldn't cut back. See, they couldn't cut it back.
But another 1st down. McGuire able to squeeze out just enough, and he will leave.
Do you notice how the momentum has affected everybody from a Syracuse standpoint emotionally? They're playing so much harder with more intensity, yet they're controlling it and making the plays.
And Dick, the coaching staff told McGuire to return to the field. They want him in this set. And it is Williams who goes out of the huddle and over to the sideline. On 1st down. Toretta goes complete to a diving Coleman Bell at the 46-yard line.
They nickel and dime you. That time a little tight end delay. He blocks for a second, then checks out, lets the zone drop out of there. You'll see him right here. He's in that stance. Now watch him right there. They're in the shotgun. Now watch him hold. See, let the rush get upfield, then let the coverage get downfield. Now they just drop to him. Real efficient passing.
Chris Jones comes out to the left along with Lamar Thomas. This is 2nd and 4. The shotgun. Toretto fires to Thomas. First down, Miami in Syracuse territory at their 46-yard line.
Thomas has got great speed, good lifting ability. He also high jumped 6'7". You know, that's pretty good. He tied for the Big East championship. But his legs, Brent, they look like yours. Look at him. I mean, just little skinny spindles. It's amazing he can move like that. Look at those legs, ladies. Look at those things. Built for speed.
Goes out to the right. Bell comes to the left. 1st and 10. Here's the hand to Jones. Jones stretches it out, and he is ripped down by Spencer.
Spencer made the play. The reason he made the play is Mitchell, the nose guard, was moving down the line of scrimmage, inside out, and did not allow it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Watch the nose right here work and not allow it to be cut back. See, they reach for him. They can't get him. See him working there, keeping leverage on the ball, forced it right out to him. Good team discipline and defense.
And a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 for Toretto. The 3 receivers to his left in this formation. To Thomas. Hit at the 40-yard line by Bevel.
This Pats offense is so well coached.
I want to remind everybody that Thanksgiving Day, we have got a big one coming your way. Unbeaten Alabama, very important game. 1 Eastern time, Thanksgiving Day here on ABC. Then the next day it'll be Nebraska, Oklahoma. That's at 1:30 Eastern time. So 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving and 1:30 the next day. This is 3rd and 4. Toretto, and it's off Williams' hands. Glenn Young blitzing the quarterback forced Toretto to hurry.
You know, that ball might have been tipped. It took a little funny hop in the air as it went toward him. Not making an excuse for Williams, but it looked like it changed direction.
Miami forced the punt. Janelle Bennett is set in front of Paul Snyder. And Hill is going to let this one go. Miami tried to down it, but they went on into the end zone. A touchback. It'll come out on the 20. Eight minutes and 7 seconds. Miami 16, Syracuse 10.
In 1993, you'll have over 500 new car models to choose from, and you can be pretty sure that most of them will cost more than they did last year. But this one won't. The Lumina Euro Sedan from Chevrolet. You'll find the features you're looking for, but you won't find a higher number on the sticker. This year's Lumina, last year's prices. Pretty ingenious, huh? What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
When you publish thousands of newsletters a week, color is out of the question.
Invest in the fastest highlight color laser printer and come to a different conclusion. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Our sales figures were confusing. No one understood them.
With our digital color copier, you get the clarity of color with the stroke of a pen and touch of a screen. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
It seems Europeans have a passion for certain things, American. And one of them happens to be the reliable, efficient delivery of a certain American delivery company, UPS. Fact is, we've built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So next time you need something shipped there, use the outfit Europeans find, well, so fashionable. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
The last time Syracuse had the ball, the Orangemen drove 92 yards for their first touchdown of this game. This one's 12 yards shorter. 1st and 10 for Graves. Walker's his tailback and Wooten his fullback, and Graves changes the play. Now Walker battling his way.
Brent, Miami defensive coordinator Sonny Lubick has put him into an odd defense now with the defensive tackle off shaded on the center's nose to try to take away that trap.
Armstead back in at the linebacking spot. And there's
the Bain Truss. Art Keogh is one of them there. I can't see the hand on that. Must be Sonny with his hand on his forehead, just wiping off the perspiration.
Those Butte guys don't sweat that. Michael Barrow, number 56, the man in the middle now. 2nd and 10. Armstead's coming. Graves moves down the line on the option and keeps it. Graves gets a block from Hill, and Graves out to the 48-yard line of Miami.
See, that's the one thing when you blitz the option and nobody gets the quarterback, everybody else is committed to the blitz. There's no one on the quarterback. Everybody else playing man-to-man with the receivers downfield. See, no one to tackle him. They're all playing pass defense. They recover. They recognize what's happening. Too late. Long gain.
And Graves stepped out of bounds at the Syracuse 45-yard line. So it is a 25-yard run by Graves. Gedney slotted to his right. Graves fires complete to midfield. And Hill, the receiver on that side, Shelby Hill, he comes from some tough genes. He's the son of J.D. Hill, who played with the Bills and the Lions. They had a couple of brothers who played college football, Lonzel and J.D. Jr. So he knows what it's all about when it gets tough, as it is right now. 2nd and 5. Kerry Farrell comes to Graves' right. This is Gedney moving over. Graves steps back off the option, throws deep, incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver, and Dexter Siegler, the cover man.
Boy, that was a good throw, good coverage. It was just inches off. Good call, because see, when you run the option, they've been running it real well. You go down the line of scrimmage, then you come back. You have full flow coming toward the play. Then he turns and throws back. You notice the safety cannot get over there to help. Look how close that ball was. Game of inches.
This is 3rd and 5 at midfield. 6:22 to go. You wouldn't think that he's thinking 2 downs to get this.
No. He's got to just, I mean, a high percentage, something 5 yards or 4 that he runs for the 5th. Blitz.
Graves with time throws to Hill for the 1st down at the Miami 40-yard line.
See, nice. He got what he wanted. He had a quick out, or like a 12-yard out pattern on. They blitzed it in single coverage, man-to-man. They picked up the blitz, threw it in rhythm. Good poise. Can't ask for a better situation. You'll see he's in the shotgun again. They're staying with that shotgun. You see Armstead, one to your right. He's blitzing. They've got everybody picked up. He fires it in pressure. Comes off the break right on time. Hill makes the catch.
1 foot in bounds. That's the college rule. Wooten and Walker are behind Graves. This is the fullback to the 27-yard line, and another Syracuse 1st down.
That is that same trap play that's run. That's the first phase of the trap option, where you run the trap and either fake it or give it to it. This time they're giving it like they have been. You'll see it. He gets it, and then Barrow steps up to take it on. He gets picked off by Wisdom, number 68, and there goes Wooten.
14 yards, and you know, since Barrow was shaken up, he has not been the same at middle linebacker.
He was hurting there for a while.
That's a 14-yard run right up the middle, and it's 1st and 10. Graves brings the option, has the corner, and he'll take a hit from Siegler and go out of bounds.
See, now they're coming down. They moved the defense to an odd defense again, putting a man on the center's nose. He saw it. He ran the option. All their options are called check with me, meaning I come up to the line of scrimmage. If I like it better to the left, I go to the left. If I like it better right, I go right. This time, he goes left. Good game. See, he comes down there. They got it all sealed off inside. He's really just coasting.
And he'll take an 8-yard run. 2nd and 2. It was kind of interesting. The running backs were urging the crowd on, and Graves said, please, quiet down. I got to do some business here. Guess who they listened to?
They're showing blitz.
2nd and 2. Graves, a late option to Walker in a foot race with Darren Smith and Rowan Marley.
Boy, they have good speed. Rowan can really run. He was coming inside out on that. No way to turn upfield. See, they made him pitch it back there. They delayed the pitch so everybody, the pursuit, could get going. You see Smith, 45, he forces the pitch there, he delays it. Now he turns and runs. Now watch the white jerseys appear. Here they come. Speed, speed, speed.
And free safety Terrace Harris shaken up. He is walking off to the side, and C.J. Richardson will come in and play free safety.
I'd like to see him run that quarterback counter that they ran a little while ago.
It's 3rd and 3.
That wouldn't be a good play in this situation, Brent.
The ball at the 19.
Changed my mind.
If they can get close, then they can think about 4 downs to get the first down. But if they don't get close, they probably settle for a field goal with 5.5 minutes to go.
This is a rollout.
And it's Graves. Walker picks it up. And he's hit on the release. Intercepted at the 25-yard line by Marley. Rowan Marley comes up with the interception before it hits the artificial turf.
Graves should have run. I saw that play on the practice field, Brent. It's a design rollout run pass option. You'll see the man in motion. He'll go out and clear it. They put the backs out in the flat like that. The quarterback's rolling toward it. See, here he comes. He's out there. He should have run for the first down.
It was wide open, wasn't it?
It was there.
So the son of Bob Marley, the great Jamaican musician, comes up with the biggest defensive play of the game. And it's 1st and 10 for Toretta. Now Toretta goes to Copeland. The ball is on the carpet, but Copeland grabs it back. And here is the young man who said he just loves to play football. When Dennis Erickson first saw his size, he said, you try it back here in the defensive backfield. So he continued to play away in the scrimmages, and the coaches said, look, this guy hits as hard as any of our linebackers. We've got to try him. So they move him up there, and lo and behold, he becomes a star. 2nd down. Now Toretta and Miami trying to bring the clock down. Is short of the first down. John Spagnola, Marley doing quite a job, isn't he?
Yes, he is, Brent. As a matter of fact, as you know, he was born in Jamaica. His father is Bob Marley. Raised in South Florida. Yesterday, he got off the airplane and saw snow for the first time. Tried to throw a snowball, and he didn't know how to make one. He had to be coached by a coach on how to pack the snow. But boy, does he pack a wallop.
Hey, John, after he learned, he was throwing strikes, too. It is 3rd down and 2 at the 33. 4:11 to go.
Look at this. 3rd and 2. They're in a no-back set. They're going to throw the ball.
Toretta with plenty of time. Throws high and incomplete. Miami forced the punt.
Toretta's upset with that. 3rd and 2. 3rd and a long 2. No back. You know they're not going to run. Every once in a while they might run a quarterback draw, but not in a 3rd and 2 situation. Throws it high. Dennis says, what you doing, kiddo? I thought we were going to go over here with the ball.
Kiddo, is that the word your coaches use on the sideline?
No, my language was so bad, they bleep me in the NFL films.
Paul Snyder drives one. Hill runs up at the 30. Gets a block.
Get out of bounds.
Great speed on the special team. Strings him out of bounds. It was C.J. Richardson. 3 minutes and 49 seconds to go, and Syracuse gets another chance.
There's a tropical island that's not on any map, though it's easy to find. It's warmed by the sun and caressed by the winds, with its own hidden treasures, local delicacies, and exotic festivals. But this island moves. It's a Carnival cruise ship. So if you go, get there on time and get out your Visa card, because the world's most popular cruise line doesn't stay in one place for long, and it doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Riding this bumps is not good for my lunch. Bouncing my...
Every hour, we select a Chevy Cavalier to take a memorable trip at the factory over a very sophisticated bumpy road. We call it the squeak and rattle track, and it's one man's job to test Cavaliers and find problems before they get to you. It's a rough job, but someone's got to do it. Surprised that Chevy has a road, a test, and a man like this? They shouldn't be. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
This Magnavox portable CD player with pure digital sound is the best thing to take on vacation. Unless you compare it with this clever Magnavox 5-inch TV. Great pictures of anywhere. Course, the best is this compact yet intelligent Magnavox camcorder with autofocus. Unless you take this Magnavox 3-inch LCD TV, which connects to my camcorder, so I can watch my vacation on the ride home. Looks as though I had a pretty good time.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
This is the last time Miami lost. October 20th, 1990 in South Bend, Indiana. And on 3rd and 4, it was Rodney Culver catching the pass and getting into the end zone. But since then, the Hurricanes have been dead solid perfect. 27 straight wins. An unbeaten season last year, a national championship. Now they're trying to get another one. It would be the 5th of the decade. Terrace Harris has returned. Marvin Graves in Syracuse will look for the big play. The ball at the 29-yard line.
They're coming after him.
Armstead blitzing, dives and misses Graves, but then fumble, recovery Miami. Miami recovered. Armstead came up over the top. But then it was Darren Klein who finally got a handle on it, and Armstead recovers.
Jesse Armstead went right up over the top of the blocker there, Jesse, at the left side of your screen, number 1. See him right here. Now watch the block right there, a little bit too low, and he went up over the top, forced him there. Here comes Klein right there, and he knocks it out.
The cheer you heard is Armstead was offside.
All that work for nothing, Brent. Crumb, that was really humming.
Offside, defense, touchdown.
Woo! Dennis, God.
Can't be any tougher than that.
Oh, God.
Now 1st and 5. The ball brought out to the 33. Brian Pacucci, the fullback. David Walker, the tailback. Graves. Barrow coming after him, and Graves to the 39-yard line.
That's that quarterback counter again that they ran one other time in the 3rd quarter. Good play, good design, and has a real negative effect on the linebackers.
Close to a first down. The chain's being brought out.
It's been a great afternoon and evening of college football. Please don't go near the playing field when the ball game is over. After students who have stayed off the bleachers.
Second year head coach at Syracuse.
And boy, has he done a good job. You know, he followed an excellent football coach in Dick McPherson, but this guy, he's a leader. He's a bachelor. He's married to football.
You know, he told me the biggest mistake he ever made in his life was not marrying his childhood sweetheart. But he got involved with his first job, and she said, "Are you going to spend any time with me?" And he said, "I got to look at another film." And she said, "Well, maybe we better not get married." He said, "What a mistake I made." Now he said, "I am married to this silly game." Second down and inches. The fullback and Pacucci pulling away with Caesar holding on. He may have gotten the first down with that second effort as he lunged forward. It's close down there.
They're milking that inside maybe just a little too much. You got to give those defensive coaches from Miami some credit. Sonny Lubick isn't going to let them run there all day. 2 timeouts apiece.
Well, you think the Big East not enjoying this one? This could become one of the great rivalries in that new football conference.
It's a natural.
Didn't get it.
I don't even see this.
And we get word that Washington State has just scored again. So the wishbone look here on 3rd and short for Syracuse.
Graves pitches. Richardson on one hop. Richardson in a foot race. Out of bounds. Graves was shaken up on the play. He jumps back up. And Richardson saved the day with the one-hopper off this artificial turf.
And it bounced properly off that artificial turf. Fake inside penetration right down. Hit him right under the chin. The ball's out there. Great presence of mind to concentrate on the football. He advances it. First down.
A 13-yard run for Terry Richardson, giving Syracuse a 1st and 10 at the Miami 49 with 2:40 to go.
To Walker. He pounds to the 44-yard line on 1st down, and Mark Caesar. And here comes Rowan Marley checking into the game and replacing Armstead. That signaled a great turnover on their last series when Marley entered the game. Hidden amongst the big fellas.
You don't see many linebackers at this level at 5'8".
You can't even see him when he crouches down. Graves brings the option, cuts away, and Marley, the second man there to help out at the 46, but it was Michael Barrow who got him first. And
they almost act like they don't have a lot of confidence in their passing attack, Brent. They're afraid of the sack or the turnover or something, but now they're in the obvious situation to have to throw the football.
And time running down on them, too, isn't it? 3rd and 8 at the 47.
Yes. They're taking a lot of time. Go ahead, Mike. Come on. Get the ball snap, kiddo. That's it.
Graves. And it's to Ismail. 1st down.
He took a shot at the end of the throw, but he got just enough protection to get it off. Again, buying that extra time out of the shotgun formation. See, there's that little Marley coming from the left side. He's so short in there, Brett, he automatically attracts your attention.
11 yards for Ismail. I can't understand why they're just taking their time. They're down to the last minute of this football game. Plus, Graves knows something I don't. Marley picked up, and now it's Graves. He'll take off.
Get out of bounds.
Graves will step out of bounds at the 21-yard line with 45 seconds to go.
They have really, it appears to me, Brent, really used up a lot of time. Now, so far, if they score, it hadn't hurt them. But if they run out of time down here, the time that they've wasted, even with long snap counts.
There's a timeout being called. You know, I'm wondering if Marvin Graves wasn't shaken up when
on that one hit?
On that hit back there when Terry Richardson took off. I don't think he's quite the same, but he'll take a timeout.
Panasonic presents a unique and highly evolved Smooth Operator. The new Smooth Operator 2 with float control is the only razor to unite the comfort of twin independent floating heads with the closeness of a warm, wet shave. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. The new Smooth Operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic, smoother than you ever thought you'd be.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Out here, if you don't have a Die-Hard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die-Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most.
Hollywood Pictures presents con man Thomas Johnson.
Read my lips!
He's going to do to Congress what Congress has been doing to you.
Ow!
Eddie Murphy.
Something wrong with my stick.
The Distinguished Gentleman. This film is not yet rated. Starts December 4th.
The higher you go, the more power you need.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
That's why up here, they depend on the most horsepower ever in a turbo diesel pickup.
Like a rock,
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
John Spagnola, Don Lowe, the trainer, was out there with Marvin Graves. Is he going to? Yes, he is, huh?
He is going to continue, Brent. He was nauseous. He's taken so many hits today that he got sick right here on the field and called a timeout. But he's hanging in there. He wants to finish this game with 45 seconds left.
You know, Dick, he reminded me of a fighter, a little bit woozy, and I think that's why he was taking his time. He was trying to gather himself if he could. Now it is 1st and 10, 45 seconds to go. Ball is at the 21. It's a 16-10 game. Miami up by 6 points, and it's been a different half, hasn't it, for Marvin Graves?
Well, getting the running game going like they did with that Trop series up inside really helped them.
They give him 2 tight ends, and he comes the option to the short side, and Marvin will step out and stop the clock with 40 seconds to go.
Boy, they have more patience than I would have, Brent. They really, you know, I can see that kind of stuff when you're down the 7-8 yard line, but boy, you still got a long ways to go against an excellent defense.
Well, one thing, the offense is not going to give Gino Torretta and the Hurricanes much to work with.
No, but they need more than a field goal. But these guys know what they're doing. They have a plan. They've rehearsed the plan. And as we said, Paul Pasqualoni, he doesn't do anything at night except study game films.
How about some of you Miami fans? Are you nervous? And how about you ones here in Syracuse? A little jittery? 39 seconds now, and Braves. This is Hill stepping behind him.
That's that rollout formation again. Yes, here it is.
Fake to Pacucci. Graves smashed by Warren Sapp, the young rushman who is destined to become a huge star in Miami, the coaches told us yesterday.
They think he's going to be the best one they've ever had. Here he is, a redshirt freshman at 280 pounds, moving like a cat from that defensive tackle position. Syracuse right there in the middle of your screen. He just keeps coming, just keeps coming. Now he finds the quarterback. Look at him. They should keep the rollout movement moving. Keep it away from the guys that don't like you. Get outside.
Syracuse exhausts its final timeout. Well, let's go from football excitement to golf excitement. The entertaining skins game. Payne Stewart's the defending champion. Greg Norman, U.S. Open champion Tom Kite, and Fred Couples. Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time. So the skins game, that's become a staple on Thanksgiving weekend. Always look forward to that. 31 seconds here. And Miami, having won 27 in a row, leading, but it's precarious.
They have some spread offense in their game plan. I watched them work on it on the practice field from the shotgun as well. They've got to activate something like that right now. In my opinion, it should have been activated just a few seconds sooner.
Well, after that 6-yard loss, Syracuse will have a 3rd and 12. So they've got 2 plays to get the first down inside the 12-yard line. And they've only got 31 seconds to work with. And it's a woozy quarterback right now at the controls, trying to clear his head and get something going. At least Miami doesn't have to worry about another field goal wide right. This is going to come down to a play from scrimmage. Graves under pressure and sacked at the 34 by Darren Crine, the star of the victory against Penn State.
Darren Crine beat Kyle Adams hard to the outside.
No timeouts left, and this is 4th down. They cannot throw the ball down to stop the clock. They've got to get inside the 12-yard line to keep the drive alive. Final seconds. This could be it. Graves throws. He's got it.
Can't stop the clock, though.
But it's all over. The game ends. Time runs out on Syracuse.
You gotta believe it's in here. It's right here. All for the championship.
It was a great football game.
They did the right thing on the last play. They go to the skilled people. The guy that had been helping them all year. Big tight end down the hole. They went double zone. They were going to give him anything in front and then collapse on it. He gets down the hole. The time it took, he bought it by sliding around. There's that big target. Next catch he makes will be in a bowl game.
Our Chevrolet most valuable players of this game, and